says the ceasefire is immediate and unconditional. It follows days of conflict along the Thai-Cambodian border. Each side accuses the other of starting the fighting, but the dispute dates back more than a century. Since last week, dozens of people have been killed and some 300,000 displaced.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage. Police in Atlanta, Georgia are searching for a gunman or maybe more than one. After a shooting early this morning near nightclubs, one person was killed, 10 others taken to a hospital in Atlanta. Meanwhile, in Michigan, 11 people are recovering from a stabbing spree at a Walmart in Traverse City on Saturday. By a suspect, other customers stopped in the parking lot. One of those guys who confronted him had a gun. They were able to hold the man until law enforcement arrived to arrest Bradford Gilly, who is facing terrorism and assault charges. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The second mass shooting this month. 77 and cloudy in downtown Indianapolis. Some isolated thunderstorms possible this afternoon. The high might reach 90 today. A heat advisory is also in effect. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 9:02. 5 people are recovering after being shot Sunday afternoon on the northeast side of Indianapolis. IMPD officers responded to a neighborhood near East 38th Street and Hornickel Drive.
I can tell you that 4 individuals were inside of a vehicle and 1 individual was outside of a vehicle. An exchange of gunfire occurs. For some reason, some type of disturbance occurred. We don't know what the background of that is.
1 person was taken to a hospital in critical condition. 4 people took themselves to nearby hospitals. Police are asking neighbors to come forward if they have any outdoor camera footage. Indiana State Police investigating an officer-involved shooting from Marion on Sunday. The officer says they noticed someone in the passenger side of a white SUV firing shots at someone at an intersection near downtown Marion right around 10:15 in the morning. That suspect fled the scene after police opened fire on them, and they are still at large. No injuries were reported, but a few nearby homes were hit by bullets. The heat not finished yet across the state. Tuesday is expected to be one of the hottest days, maybe the hottest of them all, with the heat index values over 100. Aaron Updike is a meteorologist with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis. He says cool air and plenty of cold water will be your friend again this week.
Especially because we're not going to be seeing overnight lows falling below like 75 degrees, and so that can lead to heat stress, especially for those that are more sensitive to heat.
Updike says the state could see some relief later on in the week heading into the weekend. The average price of gas in the state of Indiana today, $3.05 a gallon, according to Gas Buddy, as prices continue to drop towards the end of this month. In Indianapolis, it's at $2.97 a gallon. The cheapest gas in the state is in Evansville at $2.90. History at the Brickyard on Sunday.
Kyle Larson off of turn 4 is charging, trying to go back-to-back, but he's not close enough. Across the yard of bricks, Bubba Wallace has won the Brickyard 400.
Wallace picking up his first win of the season at the Brickyard 400. It's the 3rd of his career. He's also the first black driver to win a race on the IMS Oval. The Indiana Fever continue to dominate the Chicago Sky this season. They win 93-78 on the road Sunday. Kelsey Mitchell scored a season-high 35 points to help the team to a win. It's now 2 wins in a row for Indiana, and they will play Phoenix at Gainbridge Fieldhouse on Wednesday. For the check of traffic, good morning to Matt Bear.
What's happening, Jared? Looking at eastbound 465 before Allisonville Road, breakdown in the left lane causing slow traffic to Keystone Avenue. Crash cleanup continues northwest side. It's from westbound 465 to southbound 465 in that interchange. The left lane closed. Traffic stop and go back to Michigan Road for a 9-minute delay. Northbound 65 south side delayed 9 minutes from Keystone Avenue up to the south split because of construction. Traffic sponsored by Great Lakes Honda of Fishers. Honda of Fishers is now Great Lakes Honda of Fishers under new ownership. Visit them just off State Road 37 for special grand opening prices during their summer sales event. Great Lakes Honda of Fishers. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small, loud or quiet. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use, now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Diamond Engagement Ring Store.
The forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Mostly sunny, hot, and humid. A few spotty afternoon storms. Today's high 93. Feels like temperatures over 100. Partly cloudy overnight tonight, a low of 76. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8's Marcus Bailey, 93 WIBC.
And I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com. Time for Kendall and Casey.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Casey, I hate to say this.
What's that, Rob?
But I think our Secretary of State here in the state of Indiana may be suffering from a serious illness.
Is it the illness of wannabe? Because he wants to be Donald Trump.
Well, I was looking on the internet, and look, the AI diagnosis thing is all the rage these days. Consult a trained medical professional.
Type in his symptoms.
I don't pretend who was a great television doctor, who was one of our old Dr. Noah Drake. I don't in any semblance pretend to be Kev's laughing, because of course that was the character played by Rick Springfield on Days of Our Lives, Dr. Noah Drake. I don't in any semblance pretend to be a trained medical professional, but I do believe after putting the symptoms and the behavior of Diego Morales into the artificial intelligence, he suffers from what is known as big fat phonophobia.
Is that technical? I thought it was wannabe. Whatever.
Big fat phonophobia is where you profess to be a real tough guy, a real Billy Badass, in like a motor vehicle advisory board meeting, and then somebody says, "Well, okay, tough guy, why don't you come in here and say it to our face?" And then you just.
He says no thank you.
So we'll fill you in because you made a very generous offer to the Secretary of State. Very gracious.
Yeah.
After he called us the fake news. The fake WIBC is what he called us, I think, in fact.
Yeah.
And then Tony did as well.
Yeah.
Very friendly.
Sure.
Said, please let us know what we're doing.
Come on in. Tell us about your accomplishments.
Yeah, he responded to the both of us, and he's such a tough, well, he has people be a tough guy for him. He's such a tough guy at the Motor Vehicle Advisory Board meeting. His spokesperson, such a tough guy behind the keyboard. But, when it comes to in person, as I found out, remember the little conversation we had at the Clay County Lincoln Day? Arms flailing, shouting, the dry mouth,
sweating, little bead of sweat on his brow.
I do think, and I'm very concerned, and I would highly advise that Diego consult a trained medical professional, because I do believe he is suffering from big fat phonophobia. And so we'll get to that coming up a little bit later. But you have other breaking news we need to get to.
Well, I don't know if it's breaking. It happened over the weekend. Dan Bongino put out that tweet, and he stated that he was never going to be the same after discovering what he has discovered. Alleged public corruption and political weaponization.
Can I just read the tweet? Like, this is so... Look, I am at this point, like, just shut up and tell us what it is.
Yeah.
I am so sick of the new big thing, the next thing. It's going to be monumental. It's going to rock you to your core. It's like they're gearing you up for a Rolling Stones concert or a pro wrestling match.
We'll give you the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
But then nothing ever happens with these people. No one ever gets arrested. No one ever goes down. There's never any other big reveal. Like, listen to this. During my tenure, this is Dan Bongino. What is he? He's the assistant FBI director, deputy director. Right. During my tenure here, as the deputy director of the FBI, I have repeatedly relayed to you that things are happening that might not be immediately visible, but they are happening.
They are happening.
Like, this is
they're
a
building
setup.
a case.
They're
doing their due diligence, their research. They're building the case.
Is this not a setup for some sort of super sci-fi movie or horror movie that might not be immediately visible,
You don't know what's going on right now, but trust us.
Like, you could hear the
Yeah.
guy, some door creaking, some haunted house, some view from the inside. Yes, the director and I are committed. He doesn't call him just Kash Patel, the director. Like, Kash Patel, that's his name. The director and I are committed to stamping out public corruption and the political weaponization of both law enforcement and intelligence operations. It is a priority for both of us. But what I have learned in the course of our properly predicated and necessary investigations into these aforementioned matters has shocked me down to my core.
Yeah.
We cannot run a republic like this. I'll never be the same after learning what I've learned.
Wow, what a tease. What have you learned?
Remember in what's the movie Dumb and Dumber, where Jeff Daniels lights his leg on fire at the gas station, and the woman who we find out she's the FBI agent later, she's like trying to give him her number, and she can't get the number right. And at one point, he just says something to the effect of like, "For the love of God, just give me the damn number." That is us at this point with these people. Just tell us what it is. I'm so sick of the tease. I'm so sick of it's coming. I'm so sick of it's going to rock you. I don't believe a word any of you people say anymore because there's never any receipts. There's never any delivery.
Well, they're conducting righteous and proper investigations by the book and in accordance with the law.
But we don't even know what it's about. Is this Epstein? Is there some shadow government that you found? Have we found the Obama shadow government? Have we found the cabal?
Well, wouldn't it be something if they were all tied together?
You know what they're doing? They're doing what they trained us to do in this business, which is you always tease to the next segment.
Tease, keep them hanging around.
Keep you going. Except they are not playing for ratings points. Their bonus check doesn't depend on a rating point. They're just government people who should be wholly invested in telling the people. What is it?
He gives himself an out, though, after telling you that this rocked him to his core,
Yes.
right? I cannot predict where it will land. This is some crazy stuff.
Oh, there's more.
Rocked me to my core.
You're right.
Don't know where it's going to land, though.
I didn't even notice. Can I read the rest of this?
If you want.
I didn't even notice there was
Sounds
more.
like Donald Trump voice. I have to point it out.
Well,
but go ahead.
Well, we told you we had to. Did we ever find hate or creepy like music? Because remember, we had to stop doing that because YouTube got angry at us that we were playing whatever. Even though I don't know why we were talking over it. We thought we'd crack that code, but YouTube was like Diego Morales. They got big mad at us. Okay, we are going to conduct these righteous and proper investigations by the book and in accordance with the law. We are going to get the answers in all caps. We all deserve. As with any investigation, I cannot predict where it will land, but I can promise you an honest and dignified effort at truth. Not my truth or your truth, but the truth. God bless America and all those who defend her. Respectfully, Dan. Nothing. It's just the respectfully at the end that really ties it all together.
That's how I sign off on any of my emails. Respectfully.
Okay, so but again, what is this Epstein? If so, just tell us. We don't. I think we've investigated it. Y'all charged him.
Yeah.
Whatever you had for the charging, that'll be probably sufficient. Here's what we had. The lady Maxwell, which I know we'll get into her later. Is that what this is related to? Like, can you?
Or is it regarding the allegations from the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, claiming that the Obama officials engaged in treasonous conspiracy?
I don't know, but I have reached my limit with these people always acting like. Remember when they sent the influencers out with the binders? I have reached my limit.
Is this just another binder-esque
thing? I think these people live off not doing anything. And I think they think as long as they're giving you the perception that they're looking into something, maybe you won't notice that they're not actually doing anything.
Why would Dan Bongino fabricate anything, though? I mean, consider this. This guy gave up...
He's a broadcaster.
Well, so he knows
He's
the
an
art of the
entertainer.
tease, right? But he did give up a career doing that to go be in the FBI. So he's he can't go back to broadcasting if he doesn't produce.
Okay, so see, this is why when everybody's like, you should run for governor, I'm like, no, because government, to steal a line from Judge Schmales in Caddyshack, it sucks.
Yeah.
And especially, he's not even the decision maker.
Right.
He's beholden to multiple other people. He can't pass gas without Trump's permission. So how miserable would that existence be for that guy who, just wants to flap his gums at any turn?
Well, here's something to consider. People are wondering, okay, is this about the Jeffrey Epstein case, or is this about what Tulsi Gabbard has come out and said about the Obama era? Maybe it's both. Maybe they're all tied together, and that is what has rocked him to his core.
Okay, I know this isn't on the template, but can we review that fabulous bombshell interview that we did with Doug Carter, former state police superintendent, on Friday, because we didn't get a chance to kind of talk about that. And look, I just think, and the response over the weekend to this about the allegations that there's this Du Bois County sheriff who was involved in this misuse of money, and this guy is super close to Braun, and they had an 80-page probable cause affidavit, they being the state police, and then as soon as Braun became the governor and appoints a new state police superintendent, it all went away. Like, I feel like we've got to comment. I mean, now that the interview has, and news media outlets around the state are starting to pick this up, and, what did Braun know, and when, I mean, can we get to that when we come back?
It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Sun's up, the coffee is brewing, and Tony Katz is your morning information barista.
Tony Katz, good to be with you.
Clarity.
We're not interested in having this debate. We're only interested in honestly addressing the issue.
Context.
We should not present this in any other light. The objective is the destruction of Western civilization.
And a little caffeine.
Only the Constitution should rule.
Tony Katz in the Morning News, weekdays 6 till 9 on 93 WIBC.
I've had my Window Nation windows installed for a couple of years now, and my air conditioner is no longer working overtime in the summer. These are the dog days of summer, but if your windows are old and drafty, time for some new Window Nation windows. Check it out, 50% off all window styles plus 0 interest for 5 whole years. All the details at windownation.com.
And when Window Nation comes out to your house, they are bringing the best of the best. A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, and their staff, years of experience. And look, when we have a heat wave like we had recently, I think you understand how important it is to have good windows that keep the blistering hot out and your perfect climate inside. 50% off all window styles. Any style at all, 0 interest until 2030. 866-90-NATION, or go to windownation.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
I'm Angelique Gibson. I'm a union laborer from Local 120.
For members of Labor's International Union of North America, like Angelique, giving back is part of their commitment to the Indy community.
The main thing I volunteered for was the Back to School Bash. It's a backpack program for kids 12 and under.
When Indy or surrounding communities need help, LIUNA steps up.
When kids go back to school, they don't have backpacks 9 times out of 10, low-income families, and this just helps them out.
For the members of LIUNA who volunteer, it's commitment to being part of something bigger than themselves.
You know, when they start school on that first day, they got pencils, they got papers, they got notebooks, they got binders.
This is Chris Bricky, Business Manager of Labor's Local 120. While all our members are skilled, highly trained men and women, we are also your friends, neighbors, Little League coaches, and volunteers here in Indy.
I just feels good to knowing that I'm helping somebody that needs help.
We build Indy for good jobs and stronger communities. We are LIUNA Local 120.
Summer's in full swing, so come get that hot summer deal at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get $20,000 off select 2024 Lincoln Navigators, plus 0% for 72 months. Or lease a new 2025 Lincoln Corsair for just $499 per month at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Navigator MSRP $110,425. Corsair MSRP $53,915. $3,500 due at lease signing. 0 security deposit. 36 months. 10,500 miles per year. Offers good through 7/31/2025. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Hey, it's Mike Rowe, and if you want to do business with a company that actually stands for something, switch to Pure Talk. I did. Sure, I appreciate being on America's most dependable 5G network with unlimited talk and text for just $20 a month. But what I really appreciate is Pure Talk's commitment to our military and to our skilled workforce. That matters to me. Save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. a wireless company that actually stands for something.
Road trip! This summer at Tire Discounters, your tires are your passport to savings, because you're driving to Paris,
Texas,
then it's off to Rome,
Georgia,
and you'll be kissing the Blarney Stone in Dublin,
Ohio.
Right now, save up to $434 when you buy 4 tires, and that includes a free alignment and oil change. Stop at Tire Discounters before you see the world.
The Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division has over $800 million just waiting to be claimed. Text Tamara and Nigel to 46220 or visit indianaunclaimed.gov to claim yours today.
Okay, so we got to revisit this interview we did with former State Police Superintendent Doug Carter on Friday. Now, a little behind the scenes stuff. We normally, when we do a big interview, and that one was a big interview, and we'll talk about it here in just a second, normally, like the next segment, we'll kind of do a deep dive. But you had just decided that was just too much for me. I got to do all happy stuff the final hour of Friday.
Or you could say that you walked out of the studio, disappeared, and did not return in time.
There was nothing we were going to get to in 1 minute. We had 1 minute. So I'm talking like the next hour. We could have spent the next hour talking about it.
We could have.
I'm not blaming you.
It was a pretty big, heavy story, and it was Friday. And I said, you know what? Let's lighten things up.
So if you missed it, you're the voice of reason on this program. You know, I think all these people are rotten, so I'm predisposed to think everybody's rotten.
Yeah.
You're the voice of reason. That felt like a really big interview, and that felt like a really big story.
It did. It did. It felt like he was really, I mean, you could even tell him physically. After we were done, he leaned back in his chair and
he
took a big, deep breath, like he wanted to get that off his chest.
So if you missed Friday's show, wait until noon. We don't care what you do afternoon, but keep it right here until noon, and then afternoon. I always love when I say that. Kevin, our producer, he just nods. I don't know if he's doing that subconsciously or not.
He's
but
supporting
he
him.
always nods when I say
he's like,
that.
Yeah. Right on, Rob.
Kevin's a good man.
I'm here for it.
Thank you, Kevin. Former State Police Superintendent Doug Carter joined us for the 10 o'clock hour on Friday, hour 2 of our program. And we talked at length about an investigation that he helped launch and oversee when he was still the state police superintendent last year into a guy by the name of Tom Kleinhelter, who is the sheriff of Du Bois County. Now, whose home county is Du Bois County, Casey?
Oh, that would be the governor.
That would be the governor, Braun.
Braun.
And these allegations that, and I believe they said that there was an 80-page, the number that stood out to me was 80-page probable cause affidavit. Involving this Tom Kleinhelter, who, by the way, it's irrefutable, like endorsed Braun. There was a big thing. I mean, those guys, it appears, are pretty close politically. And in this 80-page probable cause affidavit, the state police laid out a respected state police officer was put in charge of the investigation by the name of Jeff Herron, that this Tom Kleinhelter allegedly misused commissary money involving trips, including taking his wife to other states, foreign countries, etc. And Doug Carter, the state police superintendent, and Jeff Herron, this respected investigator for state police, felt like this was a pretty open and shut case that this took place. And a special prosecutor was brought in. They believed the special prosecutor was on board. And then all of a sudden, at the end of the year, Carter leaves as state superintendent. Braun brings in a new superintendent, and Braun becomes governor. And all of a sudden, this case on Kleinhelter just disappears. And not only that, but then Herron, the guy who was investigating the case, ends up getting some sort of punishment. And Carter was with us on Friday going, this doesn't make any sense. There's no reason that I can see this would have been happening, knowing what I know about this case. And it feels like something that every media outlet, not only in this city, but in this state, should be demanding answers from Braun, not only Braun, but also the state police superintendent. What happened in this month and a half window from when Braun becomes governor, you become state police superintendent, and then the public announcement that there's no charges being filed on this guy. Everybody should be demanding answers to this because it doesn't feel right, Casey.
Well, and it started with the State Board of Accounts.
Right. That's just such a good point.
Which is nonpartisan.
Right, and I thought Doug Carter did a great job of laying out, and that's one of the things I wanted him to do, was not just talk about this case, but, hey, how do state police investigate public corruption cases? How does it get on their desk? How do they go about the investigation? And I thought he did a phenomenal job of laying that out. And you're right, Casey. This case started with the State Board of Accounts, whose job is to audit layers of local government, coming in and saying, hey, something seems really off about how this Kleinhelter guy was spending money from the commissary. So how does all of that go away? And looking at the media outlets that were sharing this story, the WIBC newsroom did a phenomenal job putting a piece together. Carl, from Tony's producer, did a big piece on it as well for WIBC.com. If you want to go back and read those, you can. And then I saw other news media outlets picking this up. It just seemed like something that people were looking at going, this doesn't feel right. And I would strongly encourage other media. I think Doug Carter's willing to talk to just about anybody at this point and talk about his view on this and why this happened. And hey, look, if there's some obvious answer like, hey, Heron totally screwed up the investigation. Carter's way out in left field. They totally blew it. There's no evidence of that whatsoever. Hey, the State Board of Accounts, they're also totally wrong on this. If Braun and the state police superintendent believe that, then they need to come out. Because 80 pages seems like a lot of pages for a probable cause affidavit.
Right.
And I sure hope this doesn't just get swept under the rug.
Yeah. Well, maybe they just aren't in the mood to comment on it right now. That's going around, it seems like.
When will Braun call us fake news? When will we get the fake WIBC fake news? When will we get that?
I hope never.
Somebody who did call us fake news, the Indiana Secretary of State.
He did.
Diego Morales.
He did.
Who after you had some correspondence with him, is that correct?
With his office, yes.
Yes, and Tony had some correspondence with his office. We are very concerned now that he is suffering from what we believe we have diagnosed as big fat phonophobia. And so we will talk about that, if that's right with you, Casey, when we come back.
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
When you own a business, it feels like everything's on you. Orders, deliveries, employees, on you. That's why Comcast Business is giving you a year of mobile on us with your internet service. Really? Yep. We'll cover your first line of mobile for 1 year. So calling customers, getting directions, texting Janine and shipping, on us. The broken coffee maker? That one's still on you, which means you'll save hundreds for your business and get the fastest mobile service with 5G cellular and Wi-Fi hotspots on us. But hurry, this deal won't last long. Get a mobile plan and free up the budget to maybe, I don't know, fix that coffee maker? Get mobile on us for 1 year, you guessed it, on us. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/22/25. Restrictions apply. New mobile customers only with internet standard service or above. Limited to value of one unlimited intro line apply via 12 monthly internet bill credits. One discount per account. Fastest mobile based on mobile, Wi-Fi, and cellular data in service areas. Ookla Speed Test Intelligence 2H24.
Hey, it's Big Joe for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, Jim's Heating and Air Conditioning. Owner Jim Scott is based in Clinton County, but they're now serving a larger area.
Boone County and Hamilton County, there are just not enough HVAC contractors in those areas to handle the demand. So we can offer a value for them because of our 5-star rating, family-owned, quality.
On the north side, give Jim's a call at 765-601-1461. Jim's is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Hey there. You hear that? Right. You don't. That's what it's like to order food for your workplace with Easy Cater. No hold music while you wait to place your order. No tapping as you type in special dietary instructions or long, complicated searches for options in your budget. No crinkling of paper receipts. Just...
Dang, these are some tasty sandwiches.
Easy Cater, the better way to order food for work. Order now at easycater.com.
When was the last time you practiced your home fire escape plan? Be sure everyone in your family knows what to do if there's a fire. Get out, stay out. It's your fire safe response.
We all come together and stand together to serve our veterans. We invest in the latest technology.
We take the time to train the next generation of doctors and nurses. We work together to make sure we heal their bodies and their minds.
This is our mission. More than 300,000 of us working as one, together with families and loved ones. No matter where they live in this country, we'll be there.
We stand strong, united. Stand with us in caring for our veterans.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
What the president is saying in Scotland today. It's mostly cloudy now. 77 in the Circle City. 91 is the high today. Heat advisory also in effect. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 9:30. President Trump is meeting with the Prime Minister. The British Prime Minister in Scotland today, with Gaza top of the agenda.
President Trump was asked if he agrees with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu that there's no starvation in Gaza.
Based on television, I would say not particularly, because those children look very hungry.
British leader Keir Starmer going further.
It's a humanitarian crisis. Right. It's an absolute catastrophe.
Prime Minister Starmer is expected to push President Trump to ensure more aid gets to Palestinians in Gaza. The president suggesting that Israel's approach might have to change.
Fox's Jonathan Savage reporting. President Trump spoke with reporters before the meeting, saying he's been able to keep global tensions calmer.
If I weren't around, you'd have right now 6 major wars going on.
On Sunday, the Israeli military began limited pauses in fighting in a few populated areas of Gaza to allow aid to enter the territory. The war there has now been 21 months. Former North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper announcing on X that he will be running for senator in that state. Cooper is running for the open seat that will soon be vacated by Republican Senator Tom Tillis, who announced he would not be seeking a third term in office. And while Secretary of State Marco Rubio has been pondered as a great successor to President Trump for the GOP, Rubio told Fox News recently that Vice President J.D. Vance would be an even better nominee for 2028. Your opening bell report on 93 WIBC brought to you by Absolute Wealth Management. The Dow was down 15 points to 44,900. The S&P 500 in the green, 6 points, 6,388. And the NASDAQ is up 54 points to 23,272. I'm Jarrett Lewis on The Level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Fill your tank. Don't drain your wallet. Sam's Club lets you save time at the pump with Scan and Go checkout at Sam's Club fuel stations. Just scan the QR code on the pump and pay. Visit your local Sam's Club today.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end. The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Open the lid on a carton of Bluebell Homemade in the Shade, and you'll have it made, so to speak. It's a combination of our top-selling homemade vanilla ice cream with a swirl of rich chocolate fudge sauce. Enjoy an instant classic.
The good old days are being made right now. The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell Ice Cream at your local grocer and pick up your favorite flavor today.
When people think sleep apnea, they think CPAP. Now at Advent, we do all we can to help sleep apnea sufferers avoid the CPAP machine. And most sleep apnea sufferers who come to Advent are going to be able to avoid a CPAP altogether. Our unique Advent approach using simple in-office solutions can get your nose working and throat open all under one roof. You see, the root of every snoring and obstructive sleep apnea problem lies within the throat, nose, or both. At Advent, we know when we get the nose and throat working properly, most snoring and sleep apnea problems will subside. And we have the most simple and convenient, ultra-effective in-office solutions that can do just that. And this is why people have traveled by planes, trains, and automobiles from corners of the world you would never think of to find the sleep apnea and snoring relief you won't find elsewhere.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
Oh, man.
What? What's wrong?
Serious health concerns for the Indiana Secretary of State.
What did you call it? Big fat
phonophobia.
Phonophobia.
We think the Indiana Secretary of State, Diego Morales, is suffering from what artificial intelligence described as big fat phonophobia. And that is, Casey, a disease.
I don't believe you that AI said that's what it was.
Well, I typed the symptoms in. Are you ready for what I typed in?
Yeah.
Where you're a big fat phony.
Oh, and that's what it came back with? Big fat phonophobia?
Where you say things that are illogical, aren't true, and then you go in front of one group of people and say something, but won't do it in front of another group of people.
Gotcha.
That's what AI told me was big fat phonophobia.
It's so weird because when I put in, the symptoms, it came out wannabe, which is so... I don't know.
All right.
Take your diagnosis.
We just kind of want to reset all of this for everyone because this is the story. Look, we are lucky that Diego Morales is a genuinely stupid individual.
Oh, boy.
And, if you have had... I am telling you, if anybody has ever had a conversation, like a legitimate conversation, if he were smart, we'd be in big trouble. Luckily, though, he has the instincts of a gnat, and so he decides he wants to continue this fight and to keep it going, and we're more than willing. So this all, look, there is a litany of stuff with Diego Morales, Secretary of State, over years, but for the purpose of brevity.
Oh, you don't want to get into the spot bonuses or the brother-in-law or the no-bid contracts or the $90,000 vehicle?
No. That's all in the past, Casey.
Oh, okay. We're moving on from those.
It's all
Got
in the past. It's all in the past.
Okay.
We start in, I believe it was March of this year, where he disappeared for 10 days.
Right.
The third or fourth highest ranking official in the state of Indiana disappeared for 10 days. When he asked where he was, his staff, and by the way, this was during the budget hearing, which is the most important thing he will do as a statewide office holder. His staff would not identify where he was, only that he was on an economic development mission. We then learned, and everybody was like, well, that's weird because Secretary of State has no economic development authority or responsibility. And remember, we read the things that he was in charge of and blah, blah, blah. And then finally, we determined he was in, or they admitted he was in. I can't remember if we found it or they admitted it first. We found it, I think.
Right.
Because people were posting in India on the internet that he was there.
Correct.
Yes, that he was in India. And we're like, what in the world is he doing in India? And then we find out he went with this guy named Raju Shinthala, who has this super mysterious $80,000 contract with his office, which Diego described as business services. And when I asked him directly what that meant, he said he checked on the businesses.
Right.
That was literally what he told me. He checks on the businesses. And I asked him, does that mean, hey, are you okay, Mr. Business? He checks on the businesses. So he's in India with Diego. We also know, based on Raju's own admission from his Facebook account, that he was selling EB-5 visa access while in India, while on this, what Diego's office described as an official trip as Secretary of State to India. There was also a venture capitalist who went with them to India. Okay, all super weird, right? Yes, we agree. So then we asked, well, why did we as taxpayers pay for you to go to India for an economic development mission when you have no economic development responsibilities? And he said, good news. Not fake news, but good news.
Right.
You didn't pay for it.
Taxpayers aren't on the hook for this.
We said, we didn't. Who paid for it?
Who did then?
He said, I'm not going to tell you.
Right.
We said, what do you mean you're not going to tell us? You're in a foreign country for 10 days doing who knows what, but we know you're there with the guy who's selling EB-5 visa access, and you're not going to tell us? That's correct. Why not? Well, because I don't want this guy to get protested. But rest assured, he has no business with my office, and he's just a well-meaning local merchant. Seems like bullcrap to me. So we kept that up for a while, and the public got very upset about that because you're on an official action, not on a vacation, not on personal time. You've admitted I'm on official action doing we don't know what. We do know you don't have any economic development responsibility.
Yeah.
But you won't tell us who paid for you to get there. And that's normal behavior to him.
Well, when the heat turned up, he decided he was going to end that.
Yes, he changed his story.
Yes.
He changed the story. Now, a trained investigator might tell you if someone starts changing the story, that's a giant red flag. We'll just throw that in the barrel of red flags that go with Diego Morales. So then he tried to claim he paid for the trip. Great news! I've paid for the trip.
No. What you did was reimburse for the trip, allegedly.
Yeah.
After you didn't want to answer questions about it.
So we said, okay, can you show us proof, like that a check was deposited, how much the check was for, and receipts that match up with what you paid back?
Correct.
And then we'll all go home.
Yeah.
And he said, no.
No.
So we said,
Not gonna
well,
do that.
That's also another red flag. Seems like you're kind of really hiding something. And then we kind of said, well, we're done with this. We've taken it as far as we can go. We don't have any subpoena or investigative powers. And so we have let you, the public at large, know what a big fat fraudster this guy is. And you can do with that what you want to do. And we thought it was over and done with. And then Diego Morales, the Indiana Secretary of State, he goes to this, what was it? The Motor Vehicle Advisory Board.
Correct.
Meeting.
Monthly meeting.
And which should be like the biggest boring snooze fest. Let's make sure the motor vehicle dealers are behaving in a upright and law applicable manner, and let's go about our merry way. And he launched into a 15-minute tirade about how we're fake news, WIBC, all WIBC, not the Kendall and Casey show,
right?
WIBC, WIBC's fake, the Indy Star's fake, over and over and over again, how we're fake news. And so we were like, hey, all we want to know is who paid for your little trip to India and proof you paid the money back. What's fake about that?
Correct.
This is where you come into the equation.
Yeah, so I sent his office an email and just said, hey, we'd like to know what his official position is about this. And he was also complaining during that Motor Vehicle Advisory Board meeting that nobody was recognizing the accomplishments of the Morales administration.
Also super weird, right? That he refers to himself as
we
the
said, hey, you know what? Here's the deal. Come on the show. We'll give you as much time as you want. Come in live, in person. That way you can't say, oh, you edited it, you clipped it. No, just come in the studio and we'll give you the floor. And you can tout all of your accomplishments.
Now, in fairness, Tony also sent a similar, had Carl, his producer, send a similar email because you have impugned all of WIBC with your harsh words about us being fake news. And so I guess that includes Hammer and Nigel as well, and the award-winning. How many awards has the WIBC newsroom won over the years?
Marconi Awards line the hallways.
That's right.
Here
So we
WIBC.
just like to know if we have harmed you in some way, if we in some way, have harmed you, let us know what it is. And finally, you got a response.
I did get a response, and they respectfully declined the interview request.
Wait. Wait. He's not coming on?
No.
He went to the Motor Vehicle Advisory Board and yelled about us for like 15 minutes about how we're fake news and we don't tell his story. And
when he's given the opportunity, he was given the invite. Is he one of those people that just wants to be invited so he can say no?
It almost seems like he really doesn't want to tell his story. It's almost like he's just saying things when he's in a room and no one will challenge him. And then when he has an opportunity to man up, not be a big chicken, he doesn't want it, which is why I'm very worried he suffers from big fat phonophobia. Now, here's the thing, Casey.
Yeah.
Since he was such a fake tough guy in the Motor Vehicle Advisory Board meeting and at other events, we've seen the videos of him at the campaign events now, when he's peering over the podium. You can laugh at that. It's ridiculous. It's like a Mel Brooks skit, right? Like this guy.
He's
and I can
like
say
a
this.
step stool.
I am a short person. I can say this as a person who's 5'8". He is so small, he can literally almost not see over the podium. They need some sort of booster thing or something.
Right.
And it's like he's now screaming about how people don't like him and they're in the room, probably in the room.
Somebody in the room hates him.
So now, since he's too chicken to come on this program or to come on with Tony, every time going forward we talk about Diego Morales, we have a theme song that we will play. Kevin, Maestro, if you please.
Yeah, it's very thematic.
So that is the new official theme song of the Diego Morales administration and Diego Morales. And here's the deal, Diego. You've done this to yourself. And I know we've said this before, but we have new people listening all the time. You've done this to yourself, Diego. You chose to leave the country for 10 days during the budget session. You chose to go to India with the guy who's on the internet bragging about selling visa access. You chose to do that. And the public has every right to know who paid for that trip. It's not gotcha journalism. It's not fake news. We have every right to know, and it's not going to stop now because you keep making it worse, because you can't get out of your own way, because you're an egomaniac. And every time you open your damn mouth, it gets worse for you because the public goes, yeah, we do have the right to know. We do have the right to know what you're doing on official state time in your official state capacity and who's paying for you to get there.
It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Party people, Hammer from the Hammer and Nigel show. The party starts at 3:06. The biggest stories in Indy. Guy Relford joins us. Please join us too.
There's something timeless about radio. It's where stories are told, ideas are shared, and communities stay connected. Our generation grew up with it, and we still believe in the power of tuning in. At Howard Bailey Financial, we believe planning for retirement should feel just as familiar and trusted. That's why we're bringing real conversations and practical advice to the airwaves. Join us every Sunday at 9 p.m. for our Retire with Purpose Radio Hour, right here on 93.1 WIBC. We'll talk about what really matters in retirement, income you can count on, choices you can feel good about, and a future that reflects your values. Because some things, like good planning and good radio, never go out of style. Howard Bailey Financial, retirement planning that speaks your language. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com. The Retire with Purpose Radio Hour is a paid placement on each airing station.
Garage Doors of Indianapolis has been a local, family-owned and operated business for nearly 50 years and helps keep central Indiana's economy strong by employing over 70 families. Garage Doors of Indianapolis stands by their products and services while they share and embrace our conservative values. So when you have garage door problems, call them today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis, 875-4577, 875-4577, or visit doorstoday.com.
An official message from Medicare.
I'm saving money on my Medicare prescriptions. Maybe you can save too. With Medicare's Extra Help program, my premium is zero and my out-of-pocket costs are low. Who should apply? Single people making less than $24,000 a year or married couples who make less than $32,000. Even if you don't think you qualify, it pays to find out.
Go to ssa.gov/extrahelp. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions, like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Indianapolis was built for speed, electricity, and nonstop action.
So was Live Golf. So where better to crown a new individual champion?
Leading the pack, Rahm, DeChambeau, and Neiman.
But only one can be the victor. So be at Chatham Hills August 15th to 17th as Live Golf gets even louder.
With a doubleheader concert from Riley Green and Jason Derulo. Tickets are already flying out of the gate.
Hurry and grab yours now at livegolf.com.
Recovery is a journey, and no one walks it alone. The Supporting Sobriety podcast helps friends and families understand addiction, offer support, and care for themselves along the way. Hosted by Matt Baer and Ryan Hedrick. Find it wherever you get your podcasts.
I know you want to talk about this Caitlin Clark thing, but first, okay, we've been pretty candid about this over the years. Casey does all the work.
Mm-hmm.
I don't look at anything, and then I just sit down and start talking. So it's basically you're just doing the work for yourself. You're on the Kendall and Casey show.
Pretty much.
So
I guess.
I was perusing the template,
Mm-hmm.
and this article from The Hill is crazy about how much it costs to own a car.
Oh, yeah, we're going to get to that in a little bit. You want to talk about that
Yes,
now?
that's why I'm talking about it now.
Okay.
Like, I'm feeling as though the audience needs to know this, that this is a staggering number, that according to this article at The Hill, which is a respected publication, no idea why they would lie about this, Americans pay roughly $12,828 a year to own a car, or roughly $1,069 per month. Now, this includes insurance, day-to-day maintenance, and other operations. I assume that includes gas. So basically, all in, on average, to drive an automobile, it's $12,828 a year. That blew my mind. There's no way it cost me that much to run that little golf cart that I have.
Yeah. I think it's really interesting. Somebody told me that they think part of this is the automakers constantly putting out the advertising, making Mostly younger men feel like they need to upgrade their car every single year.
Oh, because people are always getting newer cars.
Buying new cars.
Okay. So they broke it down. 8% financing charges, 8% parking, 5% taxes and fees, 38. Okay, a big part of it's depreciation. That is part of the equation. 18% fuel, 14% insurance, 12% maintenance and repairs. And that's your total. Okay. So see, I'm not a good person on this because most of our audience knows. I drive a car with it's an older car. It's over a decade old. It has no power locks or windows. And it's the size of a golf cart. So I'm a really bad person to do this. I've owned this car for many, many years now, had it paid off in full. And my car could not depreciate 38% every single year. There's nothing left to depreciate. I mean, I have to put oil in it.
It's depreciated all it's going to.
I have to put oil in it like every 2 weeks because it just burns through the oil. Like I am in it.
That's probably not good either.
The boss, Bruce Springsteen, in Born to Run, described it as a death trap, a suicide rap. That's what I drive to work every single day. And here's the thing. I should get a new car. I could get a new car.
Yeah.
But there's a certain level of pride of, can I actually run this thing into the ground? Can
I think you're doing a good job of that.
Drive this thing until it just
stops going?
Yeah.
Well, if you're having to put oil in it every couple weeks, I think you're there.
Yeah, but I mean, it still runs fine. As long as I do that, it's fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with the car.
Most people don't have to put oil in their car every 2 weeks. That's not running fine.
It is running fine.
That's a Band-Aid.
The car operates properly.
Do you have a Toyota?
No. No. Why? Is there still?
They last a while.
That's my point. I've had Toyotas. I had a Corolla years ago. I got 300,000 miles out of that car when I got rid of it, and it was still running great. It's just the problem was, so when I owned my radio station in North Carolina for all those years down near Wilmington, there was no like garage at the building or carport, so just sit out in the sun. The steering wheel had melted. That was the problem. I had to get rid of it because the steering wheel and the seats had basically melted in the southern heat.
Right.
But other than that, the car, you just drive it across country, it ran fine. I think I could have got another 100,000 miles out of it if I'd have tried. But if the car runs fine and I know what I have to do to maintain it, and it costs me nothing, and it gets great gas mileage, like 40 miles to the gallon, why would I get a new car?
Yeah, but do you feel safe driving your daughter in that vehicle?
I don't drive my daughter in that vehicle.
Yeah.
She's never been in that vehicle.
Right.
I would absolutely.
For good reason.
I would never drive my kid in that vehicle. We have a vehicle that I feel safe with my kid being in. So why? Look, didn't Nathan Hale say my only regret is I have but one life to give for my country?
Yeah.
The only regret I have is that I have but one car that saves me this amount of money.
Yeah, but you got to put yourself in a position of safety as well.
I don't drive the interstates anymore.
I mean, you are.
I've given up on that.
You won't put her in the car, but you put yourself in the car.
I drive a very slow rate of speed at all times. No, I drive a very slow rate of speed of all times. It's fine.
Sure.
Would you like to buy me a car? Would you like to step right up? Rob, you should be living your... This is the theme of my existence.
No.
Rob, you should be doing this. Rob, you should be doing that. Rob, you should be buying yourself a new car. If you would like to buy me a new car, not even a new car, a less used car, I will gladly drive it.
I think that you could afford a previously loved vehicle. But here's the thing. You say you won't put your daughter in the car for safety reasons.
That's right.
Yet you're going to put yourself in the car.
That's right.
And you are the head of your family. So what does that say?
I don't really have any... You've been around my house. I don't really have any control over anything.
As long as your wife's car is safe.
Yeah, her car is wonderful. And she has a very safe tank-like automobile that could probably run over any and everything.
Another thing from this article that was shocking, on average, the typical American family spends, or the typical American, not even family, spends $1,000 on parking.
Yeah, what's that? Well, okay. So, like, our company pays for our parking. I wonder what it would be. It wouldn't be that much. No, it wouldn't be anywhere near that much. But it would be expensive for downtown parking. But our company pays for that. So we're I guess we would be part of that, except we have the fabulous benefit of being...
Right? With the garage, the use of the garage.
That's right, yeah.
It's surprising, though. What, $50 a month?
Depreciation was the one that because you always hear, like, the moment you drive the car off the lot, it loses value. This does seem, 38% seems like a lot of depreciation, probably on whatever automobile you're driving.
See, I think the issue with you is you don't even know what kind of car you would get because you're not really a car guy. Like, if you were in the market,
that's a good point.
Which I think you are in the market, you're just in denial about it. You don't even know what you'd get.
Yeah, the car to me is always about getting from point A to point B. That's all I've ever viewed a car as. And I get that some people have many different views on cars, love affairs, whatever. I've just always viewed as the goal of the car is to get you from point A to point B. And as long as I don't need bells, I don't need whistles, I don't need any of that stuff.
You wouldn't even know what to do if you had bells and whistles.
No.
Like heated or cooled seats, electric windows.
No.
You would have no idea.
I feel like I'm scamming someone.
Uh-huh. All right, so Donald Trump, he's playing golf in Scotland and then took a pit stop and made a deal with the EU.
Did you see the caddy throw the ball?
You think he's getting some mulligans,
I think he's pulling a Judge Smales and he's cheating.
He owns the course.
Yes.
I think he can do whatever he wants on it.
It appears he's cheating.
We'll talk about the deal coming up on 93 WIBC.
Citizens, since we each upgraded to Xfinity in our homes, the Wi-Fi has been booming. It's fair to say our town has officially become a boomtown.
Mayor, will I be able to drop into multiplayer gaming battles with low lag?
The lag won't be an issue, but your questionable skills may be.
And what if I have hundreds of devices on the Wi-Fi? Purely hypothetical.
Seems like a lot, but sure, hundreds of devices all booming together with the Xfinity Gateway. Yes, friends and neighbors, with Xfinity, the Wi-Fi is booming.
The Wi-Fi isn't the only thing that's booming. Now get the most reliable Wi-Fi and our best-in-class equipment for one consistent price for 5 years guaranteed. All in. Plus, get unlimited data included and no annual contract. All with the 5-year price guarantee from Xfinity. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. New residential customers only. Select plans only. Xfinity Gateway with XFi Complete required for unlimited data except in certain areas. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024. Actual speeds vary.
Transform your home with Galaxy Concrete Coatings. You can say goodbye to cracked, stained, and dirty old floors and hello to durable, stunning surfaces that last. Their cutting-edge technology ensures a beautiful finish every time, and you get to pick out the color. Upgrade your home today by calling Galaxy Concrete Coatings. They're for garage floors, driveways, pool decks, and patios. And they come with a lifetime warranty and one-day professional installation. The phone number, 877-417-0635. You can find them online, too. GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com.
Don't let pneumococcal pneumonia break your stride. If you're 50 or older, you're at increased risk. So be proactive with Capvaxive pneumococcal 21-valent conjugate vaccine to help protect against invasive pneumococcal disease and pneumonia caused by certain types of pneumococcal bacteria. Capvaxive helps protect against the strains of bacteria that cause about 30% more IPD cases than any other pneumococcal conjugate vaccine in adults over 50, according to national-level CDC stats. Regional variations may exist. Don't get Capvaxive if you're allergic to the vaccine or its ingredients. Tell your doctor if you have a weakened immune system. Common side effects include injection site reactions, feeling tired, headache, muscle aches, and fever. Capvaxive does not protect against all strains. For more information, call 1-800-927-8888 or visit capvaxive.com. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Capvaxive. Need help paying for your Merck vaccine? Visit merckhelps.com. Sponsored by Merck.
Pat Sullivan here with an offer from my friends at Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling that you don't want to miss. For a limited time, Hope Plumbing will buy back your old air conditioning unit for up to $1,500 with the purchase of a complete heating and cooling system. It's time to call them if you're hot. Don't wait for the next heat wave to be caught sweating at home. Act now before the offer ends. Stay cool and call Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling today at 641-HOPE. That's 641-HOPE.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Make this your year. Looking for a new career in the high-demand fields of IT and cybersecurity? Attend classes live online or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify.
In 2 minutes from the Technology Recyclers Studios, police seeking more information into what led to shots being fired in a northeast side neighborhood over the weekend, where state police are investigating an officer-involved shooting from Sunday, and how the rate of those attending college is looking now compared to years past. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 10 o'clock.
A sit-down in Scotland.
I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Trump at his golf club in Turnberry meeting with British Prime Minister Keir Starmer, focused on a lot of issues, including Gaza.
It's a terrible situation. The whole thing is terrible. It's been bad for many years.
After the U.S. had pulled out of ceasefire talks last week, the president just told reporters
Hamas has become very difficult to deal with in the last couple of days.
We need to get the hostages out. They've been held for a very, very long time, and we must always start from there.
But Prime Minister Starmer says at the same time the situation in Gaza for Palestinian civilians is intolerable.
Seeing those images of starving children in particular are revolting.
Israel is pausing fighting in some areas of Gaza for hours at a time to let more food in, some by airdrop. They also talked about the war in Ukraine, with President Trump saying he's losing patience with Russia, no longer willing to wait for a ceasefire.
The 50-day deadline for a truce would have run out in early September. Now President Trump says he might give Vladimir Putin just 10 days to strike a deal.
He's got to make a deal. It's too many people are dying. It's a really bloody war.
We're told to expect an official announcement of a new deadline in the next day or two. If there's no ceasefire, President Trump says he'll hit Russia with secondary tariffs meant to deter other countries from doing business with Moscow.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage. The two leaders also talking trade today, after the president at his same golf club yesterday worked out a separate agreement with European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen.
We're together the two largest economies worldwide.
The deal imposes a 15% tariff on most European imports, lower than the 30% President Trump had threatened. The EU will also buy $750 billion worth of energy from the U.S. on top of investing $600 billion more in America. And the president says the EU agreed to buy military equipment from the U.S.
That's Fox's Madeline Rivera. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
At least 5 injured. It's cloudy, 78 in downtown Indianapolis. High today, 91. A chance of showers and isolated storms in the afternoon. A flood warning and heat advisory both in effect mainly in central Indiana as well. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 10:02. According to IMPD, shots were fired off in a neighborhood in northeast Indianapolis just after 4 o'clock Sunday afternoon. Sergeant William Young.
I can tell you that 4 individuals were inside of a vehicle and 1 individual was outside of a vehicle. And an exchange of gunfire occurred. For some reason, some type of disturbance occurred. We don't know what the background of that is.
1 person was last reported to be in critical condition and transported to a hospital. The others took themselves to the hospital. IMPD is asking for anyone in the neighborhood to come forward with information or if they have doorbell camera footage. Indiana State Police say shots were fired Sunday morning at an intersection near downtown Marion. Officers responding to the area. One officer said they saw a passenger in a white SUV firing shots at someone. They then opened fire on that person, who fled the scene on foot and is still at large as of Sunday night. Thankfully, there were no injuries, but police said a few nearby homes were hit by gunfire. State police are now conducting their investigation. More people are choosing not to go to college after high school. Johnette Cruz reports.
New data reveals a concerning trend for Indiana's future workforce. The state's college enrollment has hit a historic low. For the 2023 high school graduating class, only 51.7% went to college within a year. This marks Indiana's lowest college going-in rate in recent history, a drop from 65% about a decade ago. First reported by the Indiana Capital Chronicle, experts warn this decline could have long-term impacts on the state's economy and workforce, with some officials citing challenges with financial aid and a changing view of higher education. Johnette Cruz, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Parts of central Indiana now under a flood warning this morning. The National Weather Service says Hendricks, Johnson, Marion, Morgan, and Shelby counties could see flooding in some spots caused by the rainfall. In the Brickyard 400 Sunday, it was Bubba Wallace who etched his name into the history books.
To win here at the Brickyard, knowing how big this race is, knowing all the noise that's going on in the background. It's been getting old running on the cut line.
He held off Kyle Larson in a double overtime finish to win the NASCAR Crown Jewel event. The win secures him a spot in the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com. Kendall and Casey back in 1 minute.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
John, what are you doing? Get in my car. Why are you walking to work?
Thanks, man. It's these insanely high gas prices. They are draining my bank account. I can't afford to drive anymore.
Dude, don't walk. Just do what I do, because I never pay full price for gas anymore. I use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait, you're telling me you get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around down $200.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code SMART for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's promo code SMART. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code SMART for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code SMART.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Diamond Engagement Ring Store.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Okay, so you saw the video.
I did. He picked it up and threw it.
Trump's definitely appears to be cheating at golf.
Well, it was just a friendly game, right? Just a little stroll on the golf course. I mean, this wasn't like a tournament.
Well, okay, but like he's always like, I'm the greatest golfer ever. Watch me hit this ball.
Yeah,
guy.
It was part of the presidential debate.
I'm not like mad at it, but so Trump was in Scotland with all this EU stuff. He cut this big trade deal. I have some concerns about that, but we can get to that in a minute. And they're somehow some candid camera or something. He owns a golf course over there, and he was playing it, which is totally fine, obviously. And they there's all these videos of look at Trump make this 30-foot putt. Look at this incredible tee shot from Trump. But then there's somebody's filming, and he's like in a golf cart going towards
Golf Force One.
But yeah, he has a new golf cart out, by the way. It's like,
it's an armor-plated golf cart.
Obviously, based on what he went through, I'm sure that's of hyper concern, given the attempt on his life last year. But he's like going towards looks like a sand trap.
It does.
And one of these guys, I don't know if it's a Secret Service, if it's a caddy or what, but it appears you can clearly see them like take the ball and just throw it.
He picks up the ball and throws it a couple feet.
So you saw it, right?
I did see it.
Okay, I'm not imagining it.
No.
It's all over the internet, and what's telling to me is
they were giving him a better lie.
It looked like they didn't know where the ball. Well, I guess they must have known where the ball was. They didn't like where it was, and so.
Well, it was in the high grass. He didn't want to walk through that grass.
Which again, it's fine if like you're just out there rolling around with your buddies and you're like, hey, we're not playing it down, roll the ball over, blah blah. That happens all the time. But most of those people on Muni courses that are doing that aren't professing to, I'm the best golfer ever. I'm the greatest presidential golfer of all time.
Well, you don't know. You didn't see his scorecard. Maybe he marked a mulligan, or maybe he marked it as a stroke.
Casey, okay, are we going to get into the rules of golf here? Okay, fine. Okay, under the rules of golf, if he had an unplayable lie, you can't just throw the ball forward.
When you're the president of the United States and you're playing on the course that you own, you can do whatever you want.
No, it's fine. But under the rules of golf, you're entitled to 2 club links worth of relief to get you out of that unplayable lie. I didn't see him laying his driver down. Yeah, and you can't throw it forward. The key is no closer to the hole. So that's fine. But don't give me this, I'm the greatest presidential golfer ever. If that's what you're doing, if you're rolling the ball forward, this is not bowling.
Are you saying he might have been exaggerating his skill level?
And we haven't seen any tweets from him that I've seen. Now, maybe he did put something out and I just haven't seen it, like refuting this. And he has to know this video is all over the place.
Yeah.
You're just tossing the ball forward, buddy. It's like Judge Smales and Caddyshack. Don't count that. I was distracted.
He was getting a lot of heat for taking the trip. He said it was just vacation. It was a 5-day visit, and while he was there, he was doing deals.
Hey, by the way, before we can get into that if you want, but you saw the Happy Gilmore movie.
I did. I watched it last night.
How was it?
I liked it. Now, there's a lot of people saying, oh my gosh, it's ridiculous, it's silly. I laughed out loud a few times. My favorite part was the good-hearted nature that all the professional golfers displayed in the movie. I mean, you had Roy McIlroy, and Scheffler was in it, and Bryson, and Fred Couples, and Nicklaus, and the one obvious...
Jack Nicklaus is in the movie?
He is.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, the one obvious person who was missing was Tiger Woods, although they referenced him plenty throughout the movie. I think you would really enjoy it because I know how much you like golf.
It's so weird that he wasn't in it. You got to wonder, how hard did they try to get him? Why wouldn't he just do a cameo? I mean, how busy could he be these days where he doesn't have, one day to go shoot whatever thing they needed? That is very odd that... because Daly apparently John Daly has a big role in it. Here's my problem. I have thought about this now 3 times to sit down and watch this. You know how I am, though. I cannot sit through an hour and 30-minute movie.
But I think as the golfers pop up throughout it, I think you'll get a kick out of seeing them. Oh my gosh, he's in it. And they clip the original movie throughout it because they bring back all of the characters from the first one, and they kind of remind you of who was in the first one. And it's clearly a take on Live Golf, you know. I think you would really enjoy it.
Hammer said Scheffler is hilarious.
He is. And I don't want to spoil it for you, but
all right, I'll carve out an hour and 30 minutes and watch this movie.
I mean, it's not like don't go into it expecting it to be The Godfather. I mean, it's a comedy, and it's Adam Sandler comedy. You've got a guy with, crossed eyes, and which you have in every single one of his movies. And they even reference some other Adam Sandler movies throughout it. So
I can't even tell you the last time I watched an Adam Sandler movie's out, you better watch it. Like, does he even make movies regularly anymore?
Well, he made this one.
Well, I know, but I'm saying does he even have to? I mean, he's probably reached that point where he doesn't have to do anything. Anyway, all right, fine, I'll find an hour and 30 minutes, but if it stinks, I'm gonna hold you accountable.
Well, like I said, it's not this big Oscar-worthy drama.
Well, I'm not expecting that.
Yeah, don't expect that, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised at how fun it is with all of the professional golfers in the movie.
Weird? The things you remember as a kid. I remember as a kid, I must have been, what year? Look it up. What year did Happy Gilmore come out? I'm certain it was 1996. Tell me if I'm right on this, and I'll tell you why. It is 1996. By the way, we have our pal Ethan is with us. Not Ethan Hatcher, but young Ethan. Ethan is a broadcasting student at Ben Davis High School, and his parents asked if we would take him under our wing for a day to try to talk him out of a career of destitute and loneliness that the broadcasting industry has to offer. So he's sitting here. Ethan has told me it is 1996.
Yeah.
Here's how I remember this. Remember, what do we talk about with my mind, Casey?
Yeah, it's a file cabinet.
It's just like a steel trap when something goes in. And the only problem I have with this is that I get so much stuff in there, occasionally things have to go out to make room for more stuff. But I distinctly remember in the 6th grade going to the movie theater and seeing that movie, and my buddies who I played like elementary school sports with just happened to be there too, and they were going to see the Tommy Boy movie, which was out at the same time, but we convinced them to come see the Happy Gilmore movie because it was sports with us in the movie theater. And that's how far back I can remember 29 years ago, vividly, like it was yesterday. I can see it in the theater. And that, my friends, is why this is the #1 rated radio program in Central Indiana. How about that?
Do you remember how much you paid for that movie theater?
Well, I didn't pay for it. My mother paid for it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You have no idea how much she paid.
I distinctly, it was a day show, of course,
You went to a matinee.
My parents were great at hanging on to the first nickel they ever made, so I guarantee it was a day show.
They're thrifty as well. Well,
isn't that cool that I can? I mean, that's amazing, right? I can remember that and going to see that movie all those years ago.
Yeah.
Probably some sort of serious thing that some sort of counselor would like to take a look at.
They'd like to get your head in an x-ray machine, examine that scientific research.
Yeah.
So while Donald Trump was in Scotland, he made a deal, an EU deal. 15% tariff will be imposed on most European goods entering the U.S.
All right, so I got a big beef with this because part of this is that they're selling to the American people, well, the EU is going to buy all this stuff from us.
$750 billion in U.S. energy.
Okay.
That's one of them.
So who's getting rich off of that? The energy industry.
Yeah.
The oil, gas, all that. Like, that's who's going to get rich. I'm not getting anything out of that.
No.
All that's going to, okay, great, they're buying our stuff, but that doesn't help me as a regular person unless I own stock in one of those companies. What's the other thing, Case?
Well, they said that they're going to invest $600 billion more into the U.S. economy.
And that's going to come from, primarily defense.
Yes, hundreds of billions of dollars for U.S. military equipment.
Okay, so yeah, the headline looks super sexy, doesn't it? Look at all this money they're spending. What are they spending it on? The energy industry, the rich oil guys, and the military-industrial complex.
Right.
Who's going to make that money? It ain't going to be you or me.
No,
they're going to
that's
spend
true.
this as some sort of huge win for you. You're getting nothing out of this. You're going to get, unless you own stock in those companies, you're getting next to nothing out of this.
Well, Donald Trump called it one of the biggest deals of all time. He said that Europe has been closed to us, including cars, but not anymore.
Europe is very closed. We don't sell cars into Europe. We don't sell essentially agriculture of any great degree. They want to have their farmers do it, and they want to have their car companies do it. I'm not saying anything that nobody knows. We have a rough situation. If we want to sell cars in Europe, we're not allowed to. And as you know, they sell millions and millions of cars, Mercedes, BMW, so many different, Volkswagen, so many different cars, and so many millions of cars. I would imagine number one, I didn't look at that, but I would imagine number one by far, more so than even Japan. Japan sells a lot of cars too.
Did you think that van der Leyen, she looked like, if you were going to cast somebody for an SNL skit, like that's what they would look like? She looked like she was terrified sitting next to him.
Well, from all the things I've read, the EU is very pleased with this deal because, like he said, they're going to continue to put a lot of stuff into this country. And like, I'm not, a renowned economist. I'm just some guy watching from afar. Seems like a lot of these supposed great deals we're getting are very, very targeted. And when you hear something like this about how it's a very select group of already uber rich people that are going to make out like bandits, and then when you put that on the back of what was his big spiel the other day, it was about AI and about how we're gonna lead on AI. I don't know if he's doing this maliciously or intently or not, but it seems like a whole lot of tippy top people and a whole lot of very select people are making out really well under Trump. And I do wonder for the regular person who it seems like not a lot in it for them. And in the case of the AI stuff, I think there's a lot of job replacement that's going to be happening as a part of that.
So the Commerce Secretary, Howard Lutnick, he said that they've got massive revenue coming in from Trump's tariffs.
And this is what they're selling, but it's also what they're doing with the visa thing. Remember, they were like, well, for $5 million, you can just buy your visa. Okay, but while it's revenue, who's the revenue going to? The revenue in the case of the visas, at least, is supposedly going to the U.S. Treasury, but they've already spent that because how much did they just add to the nation's debt on the big bullcrap bill stuff? And in this stuff, when we're talking about, oh, look at these trade wins. Yes, they're trade wins for a very select group of people, a very select group of uber powerful, high donating people. You notice that? Who gives all the money? The military industrial complex and the oil and the gas and the energy people, right? Oh, isn't that funny? Who made out like bandits or appear to have made out like bandits as part of this trade deal? Huh? Wouldn't you know who won the pony?
It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC. What do we have coming up next?
Well, no, you do all the work around here. I just respond to whatever you do. What are we doing? What are we doing, Casey?
Okay, so Andrew Ireland, State Rep Andrew Ireland, he has been on a crusade to get the state sign changed. And now he's getting, it seems to be a little support.
He wants the signs reverted back to when the welcome to Indiana signs. That's what you're talking about.
Correct.
Okay, and there's something that's going to help him on this cause.
Seems like he's getting some support in some areas. We have to discuss that coming up from 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel.
Now, the idea of Uber goes against everything we were taught as kids, though.
What's that?
Never get into a car with a stranger.
But there's betting.
Now we pay for it. We're literally paying the stranger to take us somewhere.
But at least there's some sort of vetting. You know the name of the person's coming.
So you'll know your kidnapper. It's like having an alarm on your car. Great, I can hear it being stolen.
Hammer and Nigel, weekdays 3 till 7 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Has your house become a burden? Why not sell it to us? Simple Quarters is a local Christian company that loves to assist people in difficult situations. Simple Quarters has helped over 3,000 families sell their homes in Indiana.
Wanda's been in real estate. I've been in construction, so she would find properties that we could fix up and resell or rent.
Probably we've flipped about 40 houses. I don't want to do it anymore. Health is not good. We're in our early 80s. Sometimes you have to give it up.
James, he did a good job. James was very cordial and, like I say, responded to our phone calls and kept in contact with us. So he did a good job.
When I got the purchase agreement, and he did have things in there that was pertinent to me. It's important.
Yeah, James followed through on what he
Yeah.
said. Did what he said he was going to do.
Yeah.
Other companies make broken promises, but at Simple Quarters, we keep our word. Sell your home to people you can trust. Call Simple Quarters at 317-900-HOME. 317-900-HOME.
Have recent storms caused damage to your roofing or siding? Cochran Exteriors is now offering free inspections to assess the condition of your home. From blown-offs to full replacements, Cochran Exteriors knows the insurance process and will make your home as good as new as fast as possible. Trust a company that was here before the storm and will be long after. For your free, no-obligation consultation, schedule today at CochranExteriors.com or call 317-ROOFING. Cochran Exteriors, referred for a reason for over 15 years.
Your child is 18, and suddenly you no longer have legal access to their medical info, even in an emergency. No health decisions, no financial help, nothing, unless you plan ahead. That's why Trust and Will created the Young Adult Plan. It includes HIPAA authorization, healthcare directives, and power of attorney. Everything your child needs to stay protected and stay connected. Go to trustandwill.com and get your Young Adult Plan for just $69, because turning 18 shouldn't mean cutting parents out of the picture. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. See website for details.
Trust and Will.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577. Service today. Today.
Hey, I did some math during the break.
Good.
Remember when you were a kid and the teacher was like, you'll need to pay attention to this. You won't always have a calculator with you at all times.
Mhm.
You don't need to know how to do this yourself.
Right.
Turns out we do have a calculator.
With you at all times.
At all times. And I was right, being lippy back to those teachers.
Mhm.
See, I bet they feel really stupid now.
So what was the math that you did?
Okay, so we have these just ugly signs welcoming people to the state of Indiana.
More to discover. So it was, what, May 17th of 23 that Eric Holcomb debuted the new signs, the new More to Discover in Indiana highway signs.
There was nothing wrong with the old signs. They were perfectly lovely looking signs.
Mhm.
A nice shade of blue, as I recall.
Correct.
Used to look forward to seeing them all the time when I would make that cross-country drive.
Mhm.
I always kind of, even though I still had 2 hours to go, felt like I was home when I would hit 65 in the pre-toll bridge days and would see those Welcome to Indiana signs. And
Mhm.
so despite there being nothing wrong with the signs, the Holcomb administration felt they had so much money that they spent $43,000 to put up these ugly signs. I mean, they are bland and lifeless, right?
Yeah. And it does. It's like the, I don't know, the AI version of a welcome sign.
And so I saw in various news outlets, I did a little Google search, and there were 76 of these signs they put up. So if you take 43,000 and you divide that by 76, $565.79 a sign. That's what we paid.
$565 per sign.
79 cents. Don't forget that.
Oh,
too.
right, and 79
I mean, that adds up when you're
cents.
talking 76 of these signs.
Yeah.
And so, no money to help you with without the gas tax going up, or no money to help you with the offset property taxes, or now we got to toll the roads because there's no money to fix the roads. But they had $43,000 laying around for signs that nobody wanted, nobody asked for, that didn't need to be upgraded. Oh, and don't forget, at that same time, they also spent $32 million on the rest stop renovations, too. So, yeah, there you go. That's your state government at work. What's going on with the signs, Casey?
Why did they change them? Why?
Because they could. That's the overarching theme of the entire 8 years under Holcomb. Because he could take money from you. He could shut the state down. He could try to put you in jail for not wearing a mask. He could close your business. He could have a meet and greet with the domestic terrorist and let him write part of the police reform bill. He could. So he did.
Okay, so Andrew Ireland, who is a state rep, he actually authored House Bill 1271 this past session to get the old Crossroads of America, or some variation of it, back on the welcome sign.
Wait.
He wants that installed at every entry point in Indiana.
No, we're stuck with Holcomb's badness. I'm not spending another $43,000. I like Andrew Ireland a lot, but I'm not adding new. I'm not. If we have a $43,000 in any account in the state of Indiana because we just raised taxes by $1 billion because we didn't have any money to pay our bills, then you put that money towards fixing a pothole somewhere because I'm not paying another $43,000 to put the signs back up.
So Adam Wren from Importantville actually highlighted Andrew Ireland's effort. Yeah.
You know Wren? What did he say about me, Casey? Remember what he said about me?
Was it the most powerful
broadcaster in the state?
Right.
We like Wren. He said I was the most powerful broadcaster in the state. He wouldn't lie. What did Wren say?
He was just highlighting the fact that Andrew Ireland introduced this legislation and that he's on this campaign to restore the king of welcome signs back. But here's the question, because I recall last week, 2 weeks ago, Senator Jim Banks posted a picture of himself with the old Crossroads of America welcome sign.
Yeah.
So how many were there? 76?
76.
Where are the other 75 welcome signs? Are they sitting in a, in a storage unit somewhere?
Does Holcomb have it on that big property he's got out in Brownsburg now? Did he put a big one up when
it's
you
like
pull in there?
used as a fence.
Yeah.
Hey, back 40.
Did I tell you? Because allegedly, Holcomb bought some big estate out. It's not technically in the town of Brownsburg, the greater Brownsburg area. I have a buddy whose property apparently butts up. Now it's not like you can't It's not like a traditional house like where your neighbor is your neighbor and you walk 10 feet and you're at your neighbor's house. Like he brought this sprawling, massive, whatever. How did he do that on a governor's salary? I don't know. Anyway, that should be something people should be asking about. But I have a buddy who claims that his property, and this person is honest as day is long, actually backs up or butts up to Holcomb's property. And he thought, what a great thing someday, because there's not enough property where you couldn't probably see the house next to you or whatever, to just have you stand out there with a "you suck" sign, and Holcomb would see me and know that at any given time,
when he's out there cutting his grass,
I could be out there legally pestering him and being a giant annoyance. Like if he wanted to do nude sunbathing or something, knowing he couldn't do that because I could potentially be out there.
You could be there.
Being a menace to his general existence.
Do you think he ever goes into his backyard?
I don't know. I don't really want to know, but I just would want him to know that I could be there at any given time. And I've asked if my neighbor or my friend ever sees his neighbor out there to let me know. I think I can be there in about 10 minutes. I can make it to that guy's property.
So here's an idea. They could sell those Crossroads of America signs. Like, who owns them at this point? If they're just sitting in some storage or some warehouse somewhere for $565, you could have one in your man cave down in your basement.
But it's so big.
It is big.
Would you let your husband put one up?
Where would we put it?
Well, that's a great question. Where does he put all the rest of the stuff? All the rest of the stuff in your house. That's a continual conversation about your house. Where would we put it? And he always finds a way.
He does. What, you could, turn it into a headboard or something for your bed? But they could make that $43,000 back.
Yeah, that's what
if they sold the signs.
Right, Case. That's what somebody would want when they're having carnal relations, to look up and see, the Crossroads of America. Right. Yeah. Sure.
Crossing something else.
Please, ladies, save some. Please, guys, save some for the rest of us.
It's 93 WIBC.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1-day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's four walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
Summer's in full swing, so come get that hot summer deal at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get $20,000 off select 2024 Lincoln Navigators, plus 0% for 72 months. Or lease a new 2025 Lincoln Corsair for just $499 per month at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Navigator MSRP $110,425. Corsair MSRP $53,915. $3,500 due at lease signing. 0 security deposit. 36 months. 10,500 miles per year. Offers good through 7/31/2025. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
An official message from Medicare.
I'm saving money on my Medicare prescriptions. Maybe you can save too. With Medicare's Extra Help program, my premium is 0 and my out-of-pocket costs are low. Who should apply? Single people making less than $24,000 a year or married couples who make less than $32,000. Even if you don't think you qualify, it pays to find out.
Go to ssa.gov/extrahelp. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Putting Russia on the clock. You've got cloudy skies in the Circle City. It's currently 77 with a high of 91 today and a heat advisory in effect for much of the day, too. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 10:30. President Donald Trump hosting British Prime Minister Keir Starmer for high-stakes talks in Scotland. Their meeting taking place at President Trump's golf resort in Turnberry. During the meeting, the president talked about the Russian invasion of Ukraine, saying he's cutting his 50-day deadline for them to reach a peace deal with Ukraine to just 10 to 12 days.
There's no reason in waiting. There's no reason in waiting. It's 50 days. I want to be generous, but we just don't see any progress being made.
President Trump originally set his 50-day deadline on July 14th, saying if a peace deal wasn't reached, Russian exports would face tariffs up to 100%. A top Republican pours cold water on the possibility of running for president.
The GOP will need a successor to President Trump at the end of his term. While some see Secretary of State Marco Rubio as an option, Rubio on Fox's My View with Laura Trump says to look at the vice president.
Well, I think J.D. Vance would be a great nominee. And if... I think if he decides he wants to do that.
Vance receiving the nomination would run along historical norms, as many other vice presidents like Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, Al Gore, George H.W. Bush, and Walter Mondale have gone on to become their party's nominee for president. Former vice presidents Mike Pence and Dan Quayle were unsuccessful in securing the nomination.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz reporting some Boeing workers are expected to go on strike as their contract expired last night. 3,200 voters, 4,200 of them overwhelmingly voted to reject the latest contract offer. Union leadership recommended workers take the deal, which included a 20% pay raise. And Jay Leno says today's late-night hosts alienate their audience by focusing too much on partisan politics. Leno said in a recent interview that the shift in late-night comedy towards expressing political opinions has led to a divided audience, and he emphasized the importance of using comedy to bring people together. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hey there. You hear that? Right. You don't. That's what it's like to order food for your workplace with Easy Cater. No hold music while you wait to place your order. No tapping as you type in special dietary instructions or long, complicated searches for options in your budget. No crinkling of paper receipts. Just...
Dang, these are some tasty sandwiches.
Easy Cater, the better way to order food for work. Order now at easycater.com.
Discussing end-of-life matters can be uncomfortable, but it's also necessary to ensure that loved ones' wishes are well known ahead of time. This is Tina McIntosh, president of Joy's House and co-host of the Caregiver Crossing radio program. Up next, I'll share suggestions to help ease anxiety surrounding the talk.
Cardon & Associates provides residents with the best senior living options and personalized service. Visit cardon.us to find a community near you.
Direct, open, and honest conversation is the best way to discuss end-of-life wishes. Knowing your loved one's preferred treatments and desired arrangements will ready everyone for when the time comes. Also helpful, creating a will or trust to ensure assets are distributed accordingly. And consider an end-of-life doula to assist your family during the process. More tips like this are available anytime at caregivercrossingradio.org. With new weekly content created by Joy's House and distributed in partnership with Network Indiana, we're an on-air and online support group for Hoosier family caregivers. Hear conversations with experts, access the library of online education, and more at caregivercrossingradio.org.
Okay, Casey, stay with me. I have an idea. Stay with me on this.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
$7.4 million, but for potholes.
Oh, yes. I like that idea. Do you have $7.4 million you're going to front
the city of Indianapolis did have $7.4 million, and they spent it on a glow trail.
A first glow-in-the-dark trail in Indianapolis.
Can't make this stuff up.
The trail uses glowstone embedded in the asphalt. It's to illuminate the path for walkers and bikers at night.
Okay, so WRTV, amongst numerous other media outlets, have covered this, that the city allotted in 2021, they allotted, it was called Hogsett Circle City Forward Investment. I love how they put, like, Hogsett paid for it.
Right. No, this is Mayor Joe Hogsett, Circle City Forward Initiative.
As though Hogsett whipped out his wallet and was like,
I got $25 million. Let me just put it over here for this initiative.
No, let me correct this. Taxpayers paid $25 million for the design and construction of 9 trail and greenway projects. And this is one of them. And this trail, what's it called? Pogues Run Trail. Cost $7.4 million for 5.3 miles. So let me do a little math ski on that case. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. 7.4 divided by 5.3. That's 1.39, almost 1.4 million a mile.
Wow.
It seems like a lot of money per mile, doesn't it?
It does. Well, it is a lot of money per mile. But, Rob, it's pretty.
Somebody said the park closes at dusk. Is that right?
So this path that glows in the dark for people to use at night, even though the park closes. So it stretches from the Art and Nature Park to the Indianapolis Cultural Trail and the Monon Trail at 10th Street.
Oh, Indy Reporter says the park that it runs through closes at dusk. Okay, very good. We knew Stephen would know. All right, so this is where we come back to. You remember several weeks ago, it's been probably over a month ago now, we had Ryan Hedrick on, WIBC newsman extraordinaire. And we were talking to him about his life when he was a drug addict. He's been very candid. Him and Matt Bear have a fabulous podcast. Everybody should subscribe and download, Supporting Sobriety, where they go into great detail and they interview people. And one of the things they do are they're very candid about their lives when they were addicts. And Ryan said to us, he said, I know how to spot an addict. Like, obviously, right? Like, I've spent years of my life being one, dealing with it, working with other people, helping them. I know how to spot an addict. And he said, Joe Hogsett runs the city of Indianapolis the exact way I ran my life when I was in the throes of addiction. And this is another great example where you have this monumental problem in front of you, which is you can't even do the basics when it comes to keeping your roads maintained. And yet, for some reason, you're allotting $25 million. I'm sorry, what are people going to use more on a consistent basis? The roads or the parks? I'm not anti-park, but that's not a necessity in front of you. Millions of drivers, I mean, collectively, right, on a daily basis,
need to get around the city.
Right. When you're talking about the amount of trips that are taken throughout the city of Indianapolis on a daily basis and the wear and tear and the vital nature of that and the condition then that you are allowing the roads to be in versus this, people look at that and go, 7.4. And I get that not all of that 7.4 million was to make it glow, but part of it was. And even if you say, oh, this trail, it's the most vital, greatest thing ever. Okay, but does it have to glow?
It's supposed to pay tribute to the multicolored glass path that was created by the Marietta Glass Factory. But here's a kicker for you, Rob. A portion of the trail is currently closed right now.
It's like there's all the roads. They're all closed.
So they get 7.4 for the glow-in-the-dark path, even though the whole trail's not even open.
And so then people look at this and they go, wait a second, you can't manage anything. All the roads are shut down. It is a dumpster fire to try to get down here. Like, nothing works. And then you see this and go, okay, well, how many potholes would $7.4 million, or you collectively combine them, $25 million?
Right.
Nobody's being anti-park by saying if you have a greater priority, that money, all that money should be allocated to things that people need that are vital necessities. I'm sorry, parks are not necessities. There are overwhelmingly more people who use the roads in the city every single day than the park system.
Well, and I think that's it. You hit on it. It's the prioritizing what should come first and what's a need versus a want.
Yeah.
And clearly this is a shiny new object. It reminds me of, Doug. Squirrel! Like, oh, yeah, that would be fancy and fun. but it's not a necessity.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got Caitlin Clark. Now, ESPN is reporting that she will be back in action on August 12th. She's been hurt. She's been out of games, went back in, possibly went back in too soon, got hurt again. But it's not keeping people away from buying her collectible items.
Okay, so real quick, this is my question to you, because I predicted when she was drafted, I said this Clark mania stuff has a 3 to 5 year shelf life. Like if you look at traditionally, the niche sports and the people who revolutionized those sports or brought mainstream attention to those sports, you know, you think about, like I said, I know we use these names all the time, but Wayne Gretzky in hockey, if you look at Tiger Woods in golf, let's even use something even more timely. If you look at the world of professional wrestling with Hulk Hogan and Hulkamania, because he obviously just passed away, the peak of professional wrestling was 1984 through 1990. And then there was a massive dip that lasted about 7 or 8 years. Why? Because the Hogan thing had run its course. He was pro wrestling. He was the face of pro wrestling. People had seen the thing, and it tapered off. So if you look at all of these niche sports or niche entertainment, there's about a 3 to 5 year shelf life where people get totally engrossed in the thing, and then it starts to just kind of
decline.
fade up, because you've seen it, right? And the sport itself, the thing around the person, is not capable of elevating. And so we'll be 2 years into this. And if she's consistently hurt, I mean, she's been, and I'm not saying it's her fault, I'm not blaming her, I'm not anything. She's a professional athlete, it happens. But if she's not playing as much as she's playing, at one point do people kind of go, okay.
Not as interested.
I just can't
as we
consistently
were.
see it. So I just, you have to maintain momentum with sport. You have to consistently know. It's like any other product. If you don't consistently have something like, oh, I don't know, let's say you're the lieutenant governor and people don't consistently know when your doors are going to be open because you shut your office on Fridays for some unknown reason. Like, right, people crave consistency for any business. If you called a business, will they be open today? Don't know. At some point.
That's why McDonald's has been so successful, because you know what it's going to taste like.
Bingo, Casey. That is perfect, right? At what point do we expedite? Is there an expedition of this 3 to 5 year timeline where, yeah, she's great, but if I can't consistently get it, I just kind of check out, and then, oh, is she playing again? And it takes me 2 weeks to realize she's even been playing.
Right, exactly. I mean, I had to do a little research to find out, okay, when is she coming back? Was she back? They just played. Did they win? Did they lose? And if you're not, don't have eyes on her all the time, that's when you start to lose interest.
Because didn't they play the Angel Reese team? The Fever just played the Angel Reese team, and she didn't play. So you have it supposed to be this marquee game.
Right.
And the one player has turned out to be Bricklayer Central, but nobody will admit that because, well, that would be harmful to political correctness to admit she stinks and she has no business getting the attention or the publicity that she does. But take that away from it. She didn't even play. And then Clark doesn't play. And that's supposed to be like your marquee game, your marquee rivalry.
Right.
And now I think that's twice, right, that they've had this game and they haven't played.
They haven't. The matchup hasn't been there.
Can you imagine? It's the 1980s, and hey, it's the Lakers and the Celtics. Yeah, Larry and Magic, they're not going to play. It's the Pistons and the Bulls. Yeah, Jordan and Isaiah, they're not going to be in the game. People aren't going to tune
It's just
in
not
for this.
the same.
No,
then.
it's not.
People are still buying her merchandise, though, or rather her collectibles. There was a Pop 1 of 1 24 Panini Flawless WNBA Platinum Logo Woman Patch Card.
Wait, okay, so time out, because you're...
Oh, that's a mouthful.
Yeah, you're speaking Chinese there. So that it is a pop is population. That means there's one of them in the world. They only made one of them. It's a logo. I'm going to try to decipher here using the King's English. It's a logo. What did you say it again, and I'll decipher it.
It's a 1 of 1 24 Panini Flawless. That's the brand.
Yeah, Panini's a brand of card. Yep.
WNBA Platinum Logo Woman Patch Card.
Okay, so in the sports collecting world, I think this is the dumbest thing ever, by the way, but it is what it is. These Logo Man cards, in which the symbol for the NBA, which was Jerry West, became known as Logo Man. Jerry West is the logo of the National Basketball Association.
Right.
You see it on the courts, the brand, everything. Well, on these patches that these players wear, there's a Logo Man, and in these cards, they take... See, this is stupid when you say it out loud, right? Like they cut the Logo Man off of the jersey or whatever, and they put it on the card. And for some reason, the public is totally enamored with these Logo Man cards, and they sell for $1 gajillion. Did I do that in English?
Yeah, you did.
Thank
Good
you.
job. So she has one of these, and it sold for $660,000. setting a new record for any card of any female athlete.
Okay, so again, let's talk about, and obviously I'm going to the National because I love to just see the nerds on full display. I'm going to the National on Thursday.
Are you? Is that what you're doing?
What are you doing?
I'm going to lunch with your wife while you're at the National.
Yeah, exactly, right? I told my wife, she goes, I don't want to go to Chicago. I said, I'll give you the credit card. Oh, great. I didn't tell her I'm turning it off. I'm just going to
Nice. No, her and I are going to go shopping and eat while you do whatever
I just want to see
nerd activity you're doing.
I just want to see it on. I want to watch your husband for a full day and just want to see him geek out in real time.
Mm-hmm.
But think about that. You could buy in central Indiana, pick your favorite thriving suburban community.
Mm-hmm.
You could buy an upper middle class house.
Right.
For what you just paid because it has a stupid patch on it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when we say it out loud, right?
Yeah. So the previous record was $366,000, and it's nearly doubled that. So you asked about her popularity and the staying power of that.
Yeah.
Well, in the past year, actually it wasn't even the past year, just in March, the previous record was $366,000. Now here we are a few months later, and it's already doubled that.
Kev will appreciate this, and I know we got to get to Hammer. Kev, you ever date someone like really out of your league, like totally this person has no business being in any sort of interpersonal interaction with me?
Pretty close to my league.
Okay. Then I'll just speak from my own experience. Here's what you do. You never pay for the fancy meal at the end when you know the thing is about to go down in flames. You do it in the beginning where there's a rate of return, right? Because there's still something you desire. There's still something you want. There's still something to be had out of this. These people are paying the premium price for something that, like we said, it's a 3 to 5 year shelf life. This is not sustainable. This person is this is a consult your trained investment professional, but this seems like a horrible investment to me. $660,000 for a patch?
Yeah. So all I need is somebody with that kind of money to buy a collection of Sports Illustrated magazines.
and
then I'd be like, that is the best investment ever.
All right, you'll never see
get
Casey. Sorry, behind ever again. Hammer's next.
It's Kendall Casey on 93 WIBC.
Coming up on Tony Katz today, this trade deal between the European Union and the United States. What is in it and what does it mean? EJ Antoni joins me to discuss after the news at noon on 93 WIBC. The deals at Andy Moore Ford just keep on coming. The red, white, and new sales event. Get independence from car payments with no payments for 3 months and enjoy your freedom in the new Ford F-150 Super Crew or that absolutely amazing Ford Mustang with 0% APR financing for 48 months. Save $15,000. That's $15,000 off MSRP on new 2024 F-150s or Expeditions, or buy a new Ford Super Duty truck for under $40,000. Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield is your spot for all the Super Duty trucks. They've got 175 trucks to choose from right there on the lot at Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield. And with more to your door, simply purchase your vehicle online and they'll deliver it to your door. Andy Moore Ford, 2713 East Main Street in Plainfield, or online at andymoreford.com. That's MOHR. andymoreford.com.
Hey, this is Lisa Stofan. Heard the Mark Patrick weight loss hypnosis hype? Well, I attended because my father stopped smoking with hypnosis. Hypnosis eliminated my desire for soda and fast food, made me want to exercise, and I lost 60 pounds in 6 months. My energy level exploded. I went to another session to deal with some other problem foods, and I lost another 10 pounds. In fact, I brought my husband, and he lost weight, and his cholesterol and blood pressure improved. My friend lost 20 pounds her first 2 months.
What are you waiting for? Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed. Early bird special only $49.99. Hypnosis designed to destroy unwanted cravings, late day eating binges, boredom eating, stress eating. Seminars Thursday, July 31st at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville. Weight loss seminar 5:30, stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. And Saturday, August 2nd at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m., stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Register at markpatrickseminars.com.
I had changed the locks. Didn't even know where she was living. And then one night she calls to say she's getting treatment. Can I drive? I almost hung up. But then I thought, that's my kid. I chose to put away the hurt and the fear and just see my girl.
Addiction is a disease. Standing by a loved one as they fight it will test your faith, patience, and sanity. But it's possible when you see the person, not just their disease. Learn more at cbeyondtheaddiction.org.
Bill Estes Ford is your neighborhood truck dealer. And right now, during the Ford Summer Sales Event, we've got an amazing deal you won't want to miss. 0% APR, 0 down payment, and 0 payments for 90 days. That's 3 big zeros, which adds up to 0 excuses not to drive home in a new Ford today. Every day is truck day. Go anywhere, do anything in a new F-150, starting at just $46,295. Bill Estes Ford. Online at BillEstesFord.com.
Stock BFP 250444. Always see dealer for details.
Hey, it's Big Joe for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, Reinhardt Heating and Cooling. Owner Danny Reinhardt says putting his kids in charge of more of the day-to-day operations of the business was the plan all along.
It makes me really proud that I know that I can turn it over to my family and they can take care of things, and I've got all the confidence in the world in them. And that's the legacy I'm proud to leave.
A great family-owned business, Reinhardt Heating and Cooling. 317-745-4526. Reinhardt's your trusted local independent American Standard dealer.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions, like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Hey folks, Scott Wilson here from Wilson Farm Market, just 20 minutes north of Carmel. We're proud to bring you the freshest produce farmed right here in Indiana and across the Midwest. And don't miss our home-style fried chicken, scratch-made bakery, and a deli packed with ready-to-go favorites. Got a sweet tooth? Check out a variety of old-fashioned candies, the kind that brings back sweet memories from your childhood. At Wilson Farm Market, we're all about local freshness, friendly faces, and food that feels like home. Wilson Farm Market. That's Wilson Farm Market.
More tariffs later, tornadoes possible.
WIBC.com gives you more than just headlines. It's context, updates, and insight. Whether you're at work, on the move, or catching up late, the latest is already there. Stay in the know while you're on the go at WIBC.com.
Jason Hammer, one half of the Hammer and Nigel show. You can hear that weekdays afternoons here on WIBC, joins us. Now, you're going to get out there and use the $7.4 million GLOW Trail as a resident of the city of Indianapolis?
No. I would like to have the $7 million pothole fixing assessment club begin. That would be what I would enjoy, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon.
Whatever the dumbest thing to do with money is, it seems like the city just says, let's do that.
Right. And, like, look who the leaders of the city are. You've got Boss Hogsett and you've got Ryan Mears. Ryan Mears loves to do a victory lap on, like, the high-profile things you have seen in the news, and he hopes, and he crosses his fingers, that you're too stupid and or lazy to look at the other half of the story. Like, there's a guy he's celebrating. Look at this guy we just arrested. Look at his previous offenses. Look at the sweetheart deals that you gave him that got him out there.
Do you have a theory on why he behaves like this? He lives here. He can't want there to be all sorts of violence.
He never wanted to be the prosecutor. This was a stepping stone for his career to become the mayor.
So he just don't want to mess with it.
Right. He honestly would rather probably be a public defender than anything else. But he is going to prey on stupid people, seeing a headline, and for whatever reason, too many news stations in the city carry his water. And, I mean, this guy is one of the worst. But he has no interest in being a prosecutor. He wants to be the mayor. And look, for those going to yell at me, oh, you're just saying this because you vote one side or the other. Terry Curry was a Democrat. Didn't really know which political party he was, because a bad guy was a bad guy to Terry Curry. Right. That's fine. Like, the prosecutor, you really shouldn't care about their political leanings, because it should be common sense that you lock up a violent habitual offender. But Ryan Mears, he wants to put him back out there, rub their hair, call him a little scamp, and do a basketball clinic.
Did I hear you right? You got a new phone?
Yeah, so I'm in the back right now. I'm trying to get my work email on my phone.
You've had that baby phone forever.
I have.
I mean, it's a teeny iPhone.
Let the record clearly state that Rob Kendall, the cheapest man alive, is giving me a lecture on having a phone for a long time.
Right.
But no, I'm trying to get my work email on my phone. But it's so ridiculous because you have to have this verification app, because I guess there was some hacking going on with the Urban One system back in the day. So I get on my laptop. I get on my app, and each one's wanting the QR code from the other one.
Yeah.
I don't have the damn QR code. The whole thing sucks. It sucks, Rob. I hate it.
I've never had. See, I just feel like you're creating a lot of grief for yourself. No matter where I've ever worked, I've never had a work email on my phone. Ever. I just feel like you're creating a lot of grief for yourself. The simple thing would be just to not have your work email on your phone.
Well, Rob, afternoon drive's pretty competitive. So I work from home. I email myself a lot of stories. And because of that, like you guys, we're number one, and we dominate.
That's where Casey comes in. I have no idea what she has on her phone because she does all the work.
And you don't want to know, buddy.
That should be a contest. Caller number 9 to find out what's in Casey's phone.
Hey, speaking of which, Jay Baker, the legendary broadcaster, had a great idea. He said, in honor of Diego refusing to come off Who Paid for India, we should have a contest where caller 9 wins a trip to India.
Win a dream date with Diego. Can you imagine how fun that would be?
And you got to go to India.
I'm not sure we'll get a lot of entrants in that contest.
Did you hear he sent us and Katz rather mean letters saying he would not come on our programs after screaming that we were fake news and wouldn't tell his story? And we were like, we want to tell your story. And then he sent us both emails and was like, no, I'm not coming on your program.
We had him on once, I believe, like right before the election, talking about election security.
Yeah.
But I've kind of left him alone because that's your guys' enemy. Like, I'm not one of these guys that's going to hijack your enemy. You guys knock yourselves out. Some folks do that. I don't. So, we haven't had him on, but we didn't get a letter.
Somebody told me the best radio would be if we interviewed Diego Morales and Hammer just sat in the corner and had commentary.
I don't really know if, your listeners and our listeners all get along, though. Because, when we have Governor Braun on, I've asked him about property tax every single time.
Yes, that's true.
And the last time I did it, and 2 minutes later in the conversation, your numbnuts listeners in your YouTube, why aren't you going to ask him about property taxes? I just did.
I did.
He's answering it right now.
But you sent me the screenshot of who those people were, and they hate me too.
Okay.
What are we doing this afternoon?
Oh, so you guys are talking about the Happy Gilmore thing. I want to take this down another direction. How crappy is Hollywood that we're all just taking our pants off and doing you-know-what because of a Netflix movie?
For Happy Gilmore 2.
For Happy Gilmore 2, right?
Yeah.
Where are the movies at? Come on.
Thank you, Hammer. You're listening to Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Hello, we're here with a special guest, Jeff Jr., CEO of Trajan Wealth and filmmaker behind Retirement on the Brink. Jeff, welcome.
Well, thanks, Matt. Thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
Jeff, you've been in finance for a long time. Why make a movie?
Well, after years of seeing people struggle, we needed better retirement education. And Retirement on the Brink, it offers real actionable insight.
Well, it's a documentary that's resonating with folks. I know it did with me.
Yeah, that's right. Real stories from real people as well as industry experts are featured in the film.
Many of our listeners have their own financial stories. Jeff, what's the biggest takeaway from Retirement on the Brink?
Well, retirement planning isn't just about numbers. It's about understanding your goals, creating a plan for the life that you want, and finding a trusted advisor to help. And I'll end by saying space is limited, so visit retirementonthebrink.com for VIP access and showtimes.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. DBA in most states has Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions.
You know that feeling of a fresh, clean home? This is Denny Smith for Zero Res, and Zero Res is celebrating National Carpet Cleaning Month with a great summer special. Get 3 rooms Zero Resified and get 1 room free and $50 off air duct cleaning too. Just think about everything that's always left behind in and on your floors. Dirt, dust, allergens, pet dander, and stains. Vacuuming is just not sufficient to maintain the cleanliness and lifespan of carpet. Zero Res can clean virtually any surface in your home. And remember, Zero Res's patented ZR water cleans with no soaps, no residue, and no harsh chemicals. It's clean, safe, and effective. And that's why they have a 4.9 rating on Google with over 5,000 reviews. With the aftermath of graduation parties, summer barbecues, holidays, and family festivities, it really is time to call in the Zero Res pros to do the pit stop on your floors. Just call Zero Res, mention WIBC, and when you get 3 rooms Zero Resified, you'll get 1 room free and $50 off air duct cleaning too. ZeroResIndy.com.
career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Some things can steal your sunshine.
Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division has over $800 million just waiting to be claimed. Text Tony Katz to 46220 or visit IndianaUnclaimed.gov to claim yours today.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recyclers Studios, who IMPD is asking to come forward in a shooting from Sunday on the city's northeast side, where officers opened fire on a suspect who is shooting at people this weekend. Just how hot will it get today and tomorrow, and who stepped up big for the Fever to give them their second straight win? You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 11 o'clock.
15 to 20%. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Trump says that'll be the baseline tariff for most countries starting next month.
We're making, great deals. We're making deals that are good for us, but we want them to be good for everybody.
The day after he worked out a new agreement with the EU, cutting his threatened 30% tariff on European imports to 15%, while a new round of U.S.-China talks underway today.
We have a good relationship with China. But China's tough.
The president said that at a meeting in Scotland with Britain's prime minister, also discussing Gaza, where Palestinian officials say Israeli strikes targeting Hamas killed at least 36 people today.
President Trump was asked if he agrees with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu that there's no starvation in Gaza.
Based on television, I would say not particularly, because those children look very hungry.
British leader Keir Starmer going further.
It's a humanitarian crisis. Right. It's an absolute catastrophe.
Prime Minister Starmer is expected to push President Trump to ensure more aid gets to Palestinians in Gaza. The president suggesting that Israel's approach might have to change.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage. Now, the president is changing his approach to Russia, scrapping a 50-day deadline he'd recently given leader Vladimir Putin to stop the war in Ukraine or face stronger economic sanctions.
I'm going to make a new deadline of about 10 or 12 days from today. There's no reason in waiting.
Saying he is seeing no progress ending that bloody war. One other thing the president was asked about by reporters in Scotland at his golf club in those talks, the Jeffrey Epstein controversy, again calling a hoax the demand for files and clients and Epstein's sex trafficking scheme involving underage girls. The president said he cut ties with Epstein years ago.
For years, I wouldn't talk to Jeffrey Epstein. I wouldn't talk because he did something that was inappropriate. He hired help. And I said, don't ever do that again. He stole people that work for me. I said, don't ever do that again. He did it again.
America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Working through another shooting with multiple victims. It's mostly cloudy, 78 on Monument Circle. The high today, 91, with a heat advisory also in effect. A flood warning in some spots of central Indiana, too. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 11:02. A shooting on the northeast side of Indianapolis is leaving 5 people recovering from their injuries. At least one of them is last known to be in critical condition. IMPD officers responded to a neighborhood in the Deer Run subdivision off East 38th Street Sunday afternoon. They said 4 people were inside a vehicle and 1 was outside when the shots rang out.
Obviously, our detectives are canvassing the area, hoping to speak with witnesses and so forth. We haven't made it as to know the ages of these individuals, who was the aggressor, who was not the aggressor. We believe that they are all males at this time.
That's Sergeant William Young speaking to reporters at the scene. This is Indy's second mass shooting this month. Indiana State Police are investigating an officer-involved shooting from Marion Sunday. The officer says they noticed someone in the passenger side of a white SUV firing shots at someone at an intersection near downtown Marion. right around 10:15 in the morning. That's when the officer fired at the suspect. They then fled the scene on foot and is still at large. No injuries were reported, but a few nearby homes were hit by bullets. Along with the heat, parts of Indiana could see some severe weather this week. Greg Mello with the National Weather Service says the best chance for strong storms will come later on.
There's a better shot for a few strong to severe thunderstorms on Wednesday. Main threat would be isolated damage and wind gusts, and again, there's that localized flooding threat as well on Wednesday.
Tuesday will bring more hot and humid weather. High temperatures will climb into the low to mid-90s. The humidity will push the heat index back into the 100 to 105 range. 35 points from Kelsey Mitchell, helping the Indiana Fever to a 93-78 win over Chicago Sunday.
You know, so much of the way that she's able to score depends on great screeners, and AB is obviously an outstanding screener, gets her open looks. And getting her the ball on time and on target is important, and I think we did a good job of
Head
doing
coach
that.
Stephanie White on Mitchell's season-high performance. The Fever have taken down the Sky in all 3 games this season by 15 points or more. The team, once again, without Caitlin Clark, she's still day-to-day with an injured groin. The Fever will face Phoenix in 2 days at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. And Bubba Wallace is now a Brickyard 400 champion. He captures one of NASCAR's crown jewel races on Sunday, holding off Kyle Larson in double overtime, who won last year's race. It's Wallace's 3rd win of his career, his first this season, and it puts him in the playoffs. I'm Jarrett Lewis on The Level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
It's Hammer and Nigel for Window Nation. You've been trying to stay cool during the dog days of summer, but if your windows are old and drafty, that might be hard to do. If the summer heat is seeping into your home and your utility bills keep rising, your windows could be the culprit. Save yourself from another month of discomfort by replacing your windows today with Window Nation. Right now, you can get 50% off all windows, plus 0 interest for 5 whole years. You heard that right. When you choose Window Nation to replace your windows, you won't pay any interest until 2030. Details at windownation.com.
And did I mention they'll get the job done in 1 day or less? Their installation crews have over a decade of experience, so you can feel comfortable knowing your windows are installed right the first time. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want to procrastinate another day if I found a window company this good. Do not miss out on Window Nation's biggest deal of the year. 50% off all window styles right now. And remember, that comes with 0 interest until 2030. 866-90-NATION. That's 866-90-NATION, or visit windownation.com.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Diamond Engagement Ring Store.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
You know, I have long said, Casey, that we have too many people and too much going on in central Indiana, and that's why the construction can never seem to catch up with itself.
Is that why?
And this data, this is actually interesting. WIBC has the story over at WIBC.com that across the state of Indiana, single-family building permits fell by 13% in June compared to May. Now, a couple things at play. Indiana has very poorly constructed itself the past 20 years. And I'm not saying it's just Indiana. I think if you looked at a lot of states with one primary major metropolitan city, like if you were to take the state of Texas, obviously they got Houston, they've got Dallas, et cetera. So I'm taking the big, the mega states out. But if you take a state with a single population, like a commerce center, et cetera, like the state of Indiana, which would be Indianapolis, you would see this. But everything has, from a economic development standpoint, everything has sort of flowed into these donut counties, Marion County and the counties that surround it, Johnson, Hendricks, obviously Hamilton, et cetera, Hancock. And as a part of that, everybody has come with it. And so you have seen this, while the population of Indiana is not necessarily increasing, the disbursement of the population has consolidated rapidly into a 9 or 10 county area primarily, and it's impossible for the infrastructure to keep up with it. You can't even if you had the money to do it. You can't physically. You don't have enough workers. You don't have enough resources, et cetera, to create infrastructure or the lay of the land or et cetera, right? And thus why everything is a nightmare in central Indiana. Everything always seems to be under construction and nothing ever seems to get any better.
So there was a 6% decrease from June of last year for building permits, and that decline, it aligns with national trends where the permits and construction starts and home sales are also down. Although we did talk to Mark Dito last week, and he said that home sales here in Indianapolis are doing better than the national trend.
So what we're talking about here are new, or when we talk about permits, that is new construction.
Right.
Not I'm selling a home or I'm buying a home. It's I am
building
choosing to
from
build
the
a
ground
home.
up. Yeah.
And one of the things, let's go back a couple of weeks ago where we did that story on Westfield and how they're going to pass or are passing some sort of ordinance related to if you call 911, the nursing homes or whatever,
You'll get fined.
You could get fined if it's not, Harold's on his last leg and needs immediate resuscitation or whatever. Part of that is in these communities, not just the physical infrastructure, but the human infrastructure also cannot keep up. I would cut off the growth altogether. I mean, somebody told me this years ago that, and the older I get, the more true it is. They said, your growth has to have an opportunity to catch up with itself. So whatever you do, there's a lag behind that, right? It's like inflation. Remember how conveniently when Trump and the Republicans printed all the money, there was no inflation. And then Biden took over. It's Biden's inflation. No, of course not. It's anything in government. There's always a lag, the ramifications of what you do. And in the case of growth, all of these communities and these never-ending high-density house farms have done such a toll on the infrastructure and the landscape and the way of life that I would love nothing more than to see growth completely choked off for about 4 or 5 years and just let everything catch up to itself.
Well, it's the same thing like in business. Obviously, if you're a business owner, you want your company to grow, but if it grows too fast, it can't keep up with the orders, and actually it can hurt the business long term because your customers won't come back then.
The reality, and I this is going to sound like some sort of elitist by saying this, and every community is slightly different, but the reality is unless someone is building a $600,000 or more home in your community, they're probably costing you money to be there. When you factor in the resources, the police, the fire, the water, the sewer, all of all this stuff that goes into it, unless somebody is building in the modern era, probably a $500,000 to $600,000 home, depending on the community, they're costing you money to be there, and you should fight that housing development because why would you pay more for somebody else to live in your community?
So Indiana leads the Midwest in single-family housing growth ahead of Ohio, Michigan, Illinois, and Kentucky. But something else that we're leading at, data shows that homelessness has increased 7% in Indy this past year.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I know. I know you're shocked by that.
It's time we say, so it was interesting, and I know this will dovetail into this next story about how, and I think this was in large part to the work that the Indy Reporter account did with those dash cam videos that he was doing, that homeless camp near Fountain Square is shutting down. And this is when we talk about, the idea of citizen activism, citizen journalism, taking it. Now, there's a variety of things. I know the people in that area had complained, and there were articles written about it, but that light that had been shined on, and the other people, our own Ethan Hatcher was very involved in shining a light on that. But it's time for us to say the quiet part out loud, which we always paint homeless people as that poor person, right? Oh, that guy he's down on his luck. If somebody would just help him or help her. There are people that are that way. And every year, you and I and the WIBC air staff raise hundreds of thousands of dollars to help those people through the Salvation Army. But in the case of something like Lugar Plaza, which, by the way, now that the All-Star game is over, homeless camp back in full effect out there in Lugar Plaza. Did we call that?
Yeah, we did.
We said 1 week, it'll all be back. That is a choice. There is literally a Salvation Army a block from Lugar Plaza. If those people wanted help, if they wanted a home, if they wanted a job, if they wanted skills, if they wanted to get out of that lifestyle, they could walk 1 block and those people would help them. The reality is, for so many people, homelessness is a choice. It is a way of life. My dad used to say this all the time about the people he used to deal with. He was a federal law enforcement officer. He said the problem with a lot of these people is they're more comfortable being institutionalized. They're used to the system and the life that the system provides, and they are just fine. I revoke these people. I send them back to the federal prison. They're fine with it because that's where they're comfortable. That's where they thrive. That's where their life is. It's the same thing with homelessness. So many of these people could have a better life. Now, there is drugged out zombie guy that totally needs a lot of help. There is homeless people who are of no fault of their own and could thrive if they got a hand up. But so many of these people, and for some reason we're afraid to say this out loud, have made the choice to do this, and we shouldn't tolerate it.
So the city of Indianapolis is shutting down a homeless encampment in Fountain Square. That's going to happen on August 11th, so lots of notice. The notice came from the Office of Public Health and Safety. They posted it at the site stating that the area was going to be permanently closed to camping, and any items left after August 11th would be discarded. The encampment is located near Interstate 65. But to your point, and WIBC's news guy, Ryan Hedrick, he went out and he was talking to homeowners near a location. And at the end of this clip, he does talk to some people who are homeless. And I want you to pay attention to what the last woman says in this clip.
Now, I've reached out to property owners here in Indianapolis on the south side, 905 Buchanan, 909, 917, all up and down Buchanan. There's at least 2 or 3 for sale signs. One for sale sign has an asking price of $665,000, and people say they can't sell their home if there's a homeless encampment.
Drug use is going on everywhere. I feel like some can hide it, some don't. That doesn't mean that us out here being homeless is due to drug use. We all have a different story.
Somebody bought the house from underneath my parents. My parents are down here. I have a mom, and then the Mosley Towings ran my dad over. So they keep lying to him about how he works. So they're trying to file a lawsuit. He's having medical problems. At the same time, I'm in treatment, getting clean. That's why I'm homeless.
Now, this woman, her name is Tanya, but they call her Mama T, and she said that she's going to run for mayor in Indianapolis in 2028. She talks about her journey and what brought her to homelessness here on Fountain Square.
Because we have a voice. Nobody wants to believe that we matter. That's what it seems to me anyway. But we do matter. Like, we're not stupid. Not everybody's addicted to drugs. I have raised 4 kids. I'm a very intelligent woman. I'm going to school to be a minister right now.
Thank you. Because that's always the narrative. If it's some person, some drug-fueled thing, and it was above their own. No, the reality is, and any person who's being remotely honest who has any expertise in this whatsoever, Abdul and I used to talk about this all the time. Abdul did research on this for years, and he will tell you there are 3 types of homeless people, and they all have to be treated differently, and the mayor's not dealing with any of them. There are the actual homeless people, like, hey, this person lost their job, they were, in some sort of addiction thing or something, and if they just had somebody help them, they could probably recover and go back to living a normal life. Those people do exist. I'm not denying that. But then there are people, and I lump them into the same thing, the panhandler and institution people, who they have made it a way of life. I sort of put them in the same thing. Now, not all homeless people are panhandlers. They're not all, like, bothering you or getting up in your grill. But they are people who could do better. They have the ability, they have the skills, they are able-bodied, they choose not to. They're more comfortable in the life. And then the third part of it is the drugged-out zombie guy.
Right.
And they all have to be treated differently, and Joe Hogsett is failing, the city is failing with every single one of those groups.
Well, as we mentioned, homelessness in Indianapolis increased 7% this past year. It's the highest number since 2021, and it rose 24%. Chronic homelessness rose 24% year over year, 401 individuals identified as chronically homeless.
And it shouldn't happen. When there's, and again, I use Lugar Plaza as the example. If you want to, fight with me about this, there is a Salvation Army who that is what they do. They help you with whatever your thing is, and their doors are always open. They do not turn people away. That's why we do what we do every December to raise money, and our WIBC audience so graciously gives money. If you want to overcome that, if you want to beat that, there are tons of resources. A group like Helping Veterans and Families, we've helped raise money for them.
Yep.
Like there are resources, but you have to want the resources. You have to want the help. And the help sometimes is hard, and those people do not want to go through that process.
Well, and let's make sure that we're not being accused of fake news here, because the actual statistics and numbers don't lie. Nationwide, homelessness rose 18% last year. Nationwide, 18%. Indianapolis, 24%.
Yeah. All right, what are we doing next?
It's Kendall Casey. It's 93 WIBC. There was a dating app, Rob, that leaked a bunch of images.
Images of who?
Of the people that were on the app.
Oh, these are
users of the app.
This is not like a file photo. This is not like a LinkedIn profile photo.
Correct.
Oh, very good.
So we've got to talk about that coming up. It's 93 WIBC.
Historic flooding.
This is a 100-year catastrophe.
Lives shattered.
Dedicated, searching for every single one of the children.
It's horrible. I have grandchildren that I couldn't imagine them flowing down a river.
Support Texas flood relief efforts by going to SALArmyEDS.org. Whatever you can spare will help.
It is undescribable and catastrophic.
From 93.
This is a national emergency.
WIBC.
You know, sometimes dealing with home service contractors can be frustrating, whether it's missed appointments, sloppy workmanship, or just a general sense of indifference about helping you. Frustrating hardly describes that experience, Hammer.
And that's why we want to welcome a new advertiser to the Hammer and Nigel family, somebody you're going to be hearing quite a bit about in the coming months, Victor's Home Solutions.
Victor's installs the highest quality roofs available for your home, and they take all those negative stereotypes and turn them on their head.
They start with the basics, prompt, follow-up, showing up to appointments on time. And then they go above and beyond with installation teams that are so skilled, so precise, that Victor's is able to offer a 50-year leak-free guarantee on every roof they install.
5-star customer service and perfect installation. You're going to be really impressed with Victor's. They're the only roofer Hammer and I recommend to our listeners. It all starts with a free 21-point roof inspection. Call 1-866-VICTORS or victors.com.
I'm Angelique Gibson. I'm in union labor from Local 120.
For members of Labor's International Union of North America, like Angelique, giving back is part of their commitment to the Indy community.
The main thing I volunteered for was the Back to School Bash. It's a backpack program for kids 12 and under.
When Indy or surrounding communities need help, LIUNA steps up.
When kids go back to school, they don't have backpacks 9 times out of 10, low-income families, and this just helps them out.
For the members of LIUNA who volunteer, it's commitment to being part of something bigger than themselves.
You know, when they start school on that first day, they got pencils, they got papers, they got notebooks, they got binders.
This is Chris Bricky, business manager of Labor's Local 120. While all our members are skilled, highly trained men and women, we are also your friends, neighbors, Little League coaches, and volunteers here in Indy.
I just feels good knowing that I'm helping somebody that needs help.
We build Indy for good jobs and stronger communities. We are LIUNA Local 120.
Hey guys, it's Rob for Life Church. Life Church would love to invite you to a big event Saturday, August the 2nd. You know, one thing that's true about our culture is there's a call out for men to be strong and lead well. That's why Life Church is having a big men's event where you'll hear the raw truth from men who've been through the fire. It's Saturday, August the 2nd. There'll be live worship, opportunities to connect, have fun, and leave with strategies to draw closer to God and become the man he's designed you to be. The cost for the event is just $50, and you can register today, as well as learn more about Life Church's 4 campuses across central Indiana: Noblesville, Fishers, Eagle Creek, and Pendleton. LifeChurchIN.com, LifeChurchIN.com.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
When people think sleep apnea, they think CPAP. Now at Advent, we do all we can to help sleep apnea sufferers avoid the CPAP machine. And most sleep apnea sufferers who come to Advent are going to be able to avoid a CPAP altogether. Our unique Advent approach using simple in-office solutions can get your nose working and throat open all under one roof. You see, the root of every snoring and obstructive sleep apnea problem lies within the throat, nose, or both. At Advent, we know when we get the nose and throat working properly, most snoring and sleep apnea problems will subside. And we have the most simple and convenient, ultra-effective in-office solutions that can do just that. And this is why people have traveled by planes, trains, and automobiles from corners of the world you would never think of to find the sleep apnea and snoring relief you won't find elsewhere.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Most insurance accepted.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Bill Estes Ford is your neighborhood truck dealer. And right now, during the Ford Summer Sales Event, we've got an amazing deal you won't want to miss. 0% APR, 0 down payment, and 0 payments for 90 days. That's 3 big zeros, which adds up to 0 excuses not to drive home in a new Ford today. Every day is truck day. Go anywhere, do anything in a new F-150, starting at just $46,295. Bill Estes Ford, online at BillEstesFord.com.
Stock BFP 250444. Always see dealer for details.
Make summer nights unforgettable with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get 50% off a stunning fire pit with their best stamped concrete patio package. Offer ends September 1st. IndyDecorativeConcrete.com.
I don't know whether this is a big deal or not because I can't get a straight answer from you, which is why I should probably actually do some research for this show instead of just making you do it all.
Well, you're asking me what they're pictures of, and I don't know. I haven't seen the pictures. They're being identified as photos for account verification.
Okay, so there's some dating app. I've never even heard of this.
Neither have I. It's called TEA. Right?
Like I want a cup of tea.
Yes, exactly.
Some sweet tea.
Spill the tea.
Yeah.
Give me all the details.
Oh, is that what it is?
It is. And it's very similar to that "Are we dating the same guy" thing.
Oh, which apparently does work because it turned out, we laid that out. We had a big thing on how that worked the other day because somebody I know popped up on that thing and you told me how it all worked. And then it turned out, I guess, that was legitimate. I don't want to reveal the person.
That he was out there dating multiple women.
So basically, this is an application of some sort.
Mm-hmm. It's an app created to help women safely vet men they date.
Okay, so these women, as part of because we'd asked, like, how do you know these people are legit? They're not just trying to ruin some guy's life to blah, blah, blah. And so this website does this by some sort of photo verification?
Well, you have to sign up for it, and you have to be verified. Like, your account has to be verified before you can participate in the T app. Now, this one is different because it's not the "Are we dating the same guy?"
Yeah.
This one is, do you know this guy and are there red flags?
Oh, it's what I used to do, the 6 degrees of separation.
Yes, only in app form.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, my deal in my 20s was and this was when Facebook was still primarily a place where you could go and find like-minded people, whatever that might be.
Yeah.
Was before I would go out with somebody, I'd have to have talked to 6 people they knew. Because if there is dirt to be dished, if you talk to 6 people, you ain't got 6 friends that are that good. You might have 1 that can keep your mouth shut, maybe 2. You ain't got 6. And so in honor of Kevin Bacon's 6 degrees of separation, that's what this is.
Exactly. So you had $1 million idea you were sitting on for all these years.
That's right.
And somebody took your idea, turned it into an app.
That's amazing.
However, they suffered a data breach and 13,000 images, including selfies or photo IDs used for their account verification were leaked.
Also... Time out. So these are not... When you said this, I was like, well, if you're sending like a nude photo to a web application, you should have just always assumed that's going to show up on the internet.
It's going to get leaked.
But you're saying you don't think these are...
I don't think they're inappropriate photos. They're photos so that they can get on the app and participate.
Okay, well now, like if it's a driver's license or something, that might be one thing. But you're on the internet anyway. Like
right.
what people are going to find...
Now, some of the photos that were leaked, nearly 60,000 images, were from posts or comments or direct messages. Those were leaked as well. And those could be pictures of men, not just the women on the app using it. It could be any photo that they decided to put up.
Is there a men website to see if the whams are sneaks? Because it always seems like the women are trying to find... Women are every bit as sneaky as men.
Women are good at being detectives, though.
This thing, like this, this 1980s way or 70s way of viewing dating, where the men are always the pigs and the women are these.
Well, didn't we have the article a while ago that said that most psychopaths are women?
Yes, that's right.
Majority of
psychopaths.
psychopaths.
No, I fear, like, for people, we had this before, the conversation, that people like poor Kevin, who have to make a go of it in this very just dark, dreary existence, and for the young people that are coming up these days, and how nobody meets anybody in person anymore, and it's all on the Tinge or the Snapchat or the Bumble or the Bee or the whatever.
Well, even when you do it the old-fashioned way, like meeting someone at work, sometimes that doesn't even work out for you. For example, the CEO of Astronomer. You remember? He was the guy who got Coldplayed.
That's right. So I'm sure everybody knows this story by now, but this guy, he was the CEO of this company, and he was canoodling. Is that the word?
Sure.
Is that a word?
Sure.
That's the right word?
It is for now.
Okay. What's the word? You know what I'm saying? It's something noodling, right? Where you're embracing.
He was grinding.
Was he grinding? No, he wasn't grinding.
Really.
He was holding. He was holding, Kevin.
Embracing.
Maybe this is why you're having a problem on the dating apps, Kevin. You can't even get the verbiage down.
We're saying embracing, and Kevin comes in with grinding.
Yeah.
He was grinding.
I think he was. They were sharing an embrace with the HR lady, and I think they were embracing at other places, and they got on the jumbotron, and then instead of playing it cool, they like freaked out.
Right.
And the guy, Martin, isn't that his name, the Coldplay guy?
Chris Martin.
Yeah. He was like, oh, look at those people. They're either something like they're very shy or they're
having an affair.
Yeah,
he outed them completely.
Yeah.
Now there's the reports that the guy, Andy Bryan, is possibly going to take legal action against Coldplay, saying that it was an invasion of privacy and emotional distress over the Kiss Cam incident.
What legal action would he take?
Invasion of privacy and emotional distress.
Invasion of privacy. You're at a public concert, and I'm certain, and like this has to still be this way. You don't get a ticket anymore, like a physical ticket. And this is why we need a physical ticket. Remember, it used to say you're subjecting yourself to recordings or
terms of agreement.
Some high-priced attorney wrote this out, where when you walk in here, we'll put you on this, we put you on that, blah blah blah. You're giving up all your inalienable rights by walking into this room here.
But it's interesting the way he's trying to turn this around on Coldplay, saying that they caused him emotional distress, like they put him in that situation, rather than owning it and being accountable. No, dude, you put yourself in that position.
Yeah, I mean, you're being a big sneak, which, okay, that's between you and your wife. And is she married? Did we ever determine if she was married?
Yes.
She is married?
She is.
And that's between her and her husband. I mean, yeah, but I'm saying like that. But if you're going to do it in public, right? Like if you're going to a place where thousands of people are, I mean, couldn't you just stand next to each other for a few hours if y'all were going to be there? This is an issue. It's getting harder and harder, and it's probably a good thing. It's getting harder and harder to be a sneak in society these days.
Okay, and I know we have to get to news, but there's one more element to this story. Gwyneth Paltrow, who is the ex-wife of Chris Martin, who is the lead singer of Coldplay, was signed on by Astronomer, the CEO's company, to be a temporary spokesperson.
Thank you for your interest in Astronomer. Hi, I'm Gwyneth Paltrow. I've been hired on a very temporary basis to speak on behalf of the 300-plus employees at Astronomer. Astronomer has gotten a lot of questions over the last few days, and they wanted me to answer the most common ones.
Okay, so she goes on to explain what the company's all about, because they're getting all of this attention and nobody knows even what it is they do. So is that just a cheeky, clever PR move, or was that really not a good tone for Astronomer to use her?
But okay, so she's an actress, right?
Correct.
She's a weirdo too. She has all those weird products. Am I thinking of the same lady?
Goop, I believe it is.
Okay, thank you. And so if I'm an investor in this company, this is getting me what?
More attention. extending the life of the.
But I don't think
PR?
I don't want the attention. I want it to go away. I want to do what do they do? Data centers or whatever, AI, right? Like don't you just want them to get back to doing the thing? And I don't profess to know how AI and the data center industry work, but does somebody go, well, we were on the fence and investing. Gwyneth Paltrow's with them. We'll go with those guys. Is that how that works? I don't know. I'm asking naivety. Does she have a big sway in the AI industry?
No, I don't believe so. I think they're just trying to be a little playful. They're getting all of this attention. People asking, what does this company do?
Oh, I see.
And now, let's get the ex-wife of the lead singer of the band.
I got you. So they want to keep it going because it's almost like an earned media where as long as people keep Googling them or whatever, some guy with money will see it and he won't care that the head honcho was a big sneaky sneak and the HR lady was a sneaky sneak and they got to get one fish. Basically, it's like fishing. We may lose a lot of baby fish, but if we get one big fish out of this, it'll pay for itself.
We're good.
I got you.
Okay, so you went there for your honeymoon, but there's a lot of reports coming out of Las Vegas that they are losing visitors, and we'll discuss that and why coming up. From 93 WIBC.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Searching for answers. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 11:30. IMPD is investigating a shooting that injured 5 people in a neighborhood in northeast Indianapolis Sunday afternoon.
We're looking for anybody with doorbell footage or camera footage to come forth and give us that information that we so desire.
Sergeant William Young at the scene. One person was last reported to be in critical condition. State police say there was an officer-involved shooting Sunday in Marion. No injuries were reported as they are now investigating. According to data from the Indiana Commission for Higher Education, less than 52% of Indiana high school graduates from the class of 2023 went directly to college within 1 year. The heat and humidity will stick around today and into tomorrow. Heat index values could reach or slightly top 110 degrees on Tuesday. Bubba Wallace wins the Brickyard 400 and the Indiana Fever dominate the Chicago Sky 93-78 on Sunday. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Discussing end-of-life matters can be uncomfortable, but it's also necessary to ensure that loved ones' wishes are well known ahead of time. This is Tina McIntosh, president of Joy's House and co-host of the Caregiver Crossing radio program. Up next, I'll share suggestions to help ease anxiety surrounding the talk.
Cardon & Associates provides residents with the best senior living options and personalized service. Visit cardon.us to find a community near you.
Direct, open, and honest conversation is the best way to discuss end-of-life wishes. Knowing your loved one's preferred treatments and desired arrangements will ready everyone for when the time comes. Also helpful, creating a will or trust to ensure assets are distributed accordingly. And consider an end-of-life doula to assist your family during the process. More tips like this are available anytime at caregivercrossingradio.org. With new weekly content created by Joy's House and distributed in partnership with Network Indiana, we're an on-air and online support group for Hoosier family caregivers. Hear conversations with experts, access a library of online education, and more at caregivercrossingradio.org.
Retirement planning can be confusing. That's why Expedition Retirement now has a new name. Join us for Fire Your Financial Advisor, Sunday mornings at 7 on WIBC.
What'd you decide? What are we doing?
I love how you have Ethan doing your research for you.
So if you don't know, if you're just tuning in, it's Kendall Casey Show. I'm Rob. That's Casey. We have young Mr. Ethan with us today.
Not Ethan Hatcher.
No, not Ethan Hatcher. Ethan, I know his family very well. He's a aspiring television/radio student here in Central Indiana. And I told his folks, I said, well, let's bring him in and he can see what a dreary Dickens-esque existence that awaits in front of him if he chooses a career, and hopefully he'll choose something fun that'll pay a lot of money, like engineering or medicine or something.
Do you feel like you've imparted any sort of wisdom?
I think so, because he just started doing research for us.
Yeah.
Do you grab that microphone? This will give you a thrill you'll never forget. You found the ticket. What they say on the ticket. So if you missed last segment, the Coldplay or the astronomer guy, the sneak CEO,
correct,
is suing. Or is going to sue, or he is suing.
Allegedly talking about suing them for
Coldplay.
Emotional distress and invasion of privacy.
Because the Coldplay guy jokingly said, hey, they're having an affair or something, which it appears they were, so I don't know what you'd sue him for.
Right.
And I said, there has to be. I remember as a kid, when you used to get a physical ticket to go to a concert, there was some high expensive attorney language that said, you sign over your rights the moment you walk in here. You have no right to anything, and we'll film you or do whatever we want to do with it. If you don't like it, don't come to the concert. And Ethan, doing his job, found, what'd you find? You found the language on the ticket.
Yeah, do you want me to read the policy?
Yes, read what it says.
All right, so it says, when you visit our location or attend or participate in our event at our location, we may capture your image, voice, or likeness, including the use of CCTV cameras or when we film or photograph you in a public location.
Okay, if I'm an attorney, I'm just like, we rest, Your Honor.
Right.
Now countersue.
You bought the tickets. You agreed to the terms.
He also sent me a thing, but he's doing all sorts of research here, that, quote, where did you get this from?
ChatGPT, but they got it from AP News.
Okay, so AP News said, because we did the story about this T app that had all these women's
Data
photos
leaks.
stolen, that, quote, it's highly likely that some users shared spicy, risque, or intimate content, especially in DMs. So Ethan's doing all your work for you now. He is your new AI.
That's
fantastic.
fantastic.
Ethan. That's right.
Kevin, look out, man. We got some young buck who's coming
This
in
guy's
here
16
researching.
and he's just blowing right past.
He's on his way.
And a very nice voice, by the way.
Yeah, very good.
It sounds very pleasing.
That'll
on
be
the
a thrill
radio.
you'll never forget. I was on with Kendall and Casey.
Okay, so you went there for your honeymoon, but Las Vegas tourism now down significantly.
Oh.
Declines in hotel occupancy, visitor numbers, and overall spending. Hotel occupancy fell to 66.7%.
So of the total rooms available, basically only 2/3 of them are booked. That's not good.
No, it's not.
Is there a
good.
reason for this?
Well, because things are expensive right now, Rob. How about that?
No kidding.
You got a bunch of money, you're going to go on vacation, you want to go put it into a slot machine?
I don't know. You might.
Probably not. Yeah. So you've got international travel has declined as well. It's down 13%. And domestic arrivals dropping 6.5%. Airport traffic fell as well.
Well, isn't it interesting that, real quick, I don't mean to cut you up, but isn't it interesting because we went in the post-COVID boom because everybody had been locked out of Vegas for basically a year and a half, and there was just floods of people because they weren't able to go.
Right.
And now that inflation has set in and people have been able to go back and do the thing, it's almost like whatever. Gee, Casey, it's almost like if you restrict people from being able to do something.
All of a sudden they have to do it.
Right. Not that they really need to or want to do it.
Yeah.
But once they can do it, then it's like, it's not that big a deal. But you've seen this in major metropolitan cities across the country where, take downtown Indianapolis, for example. When it's all fun and games, some people don't have to come back to work, right? Oh, you work from home, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, look at what a great boss we have. Cities, major metropolitan cities, function based on foot traffic. The space exists, the buildings were built based on foot traffic, and they are rented according to foot traffic. So if you're a restaurant owner and you're renting a space based on, I'm just pulling out numbers here, that in any given day, 60,000 people will walk past this establishment, or 30,000 or whatever, and now you've got a third of that, or in this case in Vegas, 2/3. You have to have people there because that's the lifeblood of the industry, is the renting of the rooms.
Okay, another thing that is contributing to the fact that people aren't choosing Las Vegas is you've got all of these, not only the high costs, but the hidden fees. Do you recall dealing with that? Hidden resort fees.
Oh, yeah. That's
while you were
everywhere you
there.
go, though, right? That's everywhere you go.
Well, if you're just going to stay at a Hampton Inn in, Alabama on the ocean, you're not paying a resort fee.
No. But also, you're not getting a Hampton Inn on the ocean. Almost all that ocean line property. If you look at it in an ocean city of any sort, and it's a named property, there's a good chance, not always, but there's a good chance it's off the actual water itself. It's always some, corporate dealio, it seems like, where it's the Hilton whatever, and it's it's a mile in from the property itself. I'm not saying that's always the case, but now I lost my train of thought. It's never happened. That's crazy. You broke the file cabinet, Casey.
I did.
Wait, no. I got. Give me a second here to get it back together. The resort fees. Usually, when you book it online, you pay it then, so you know it. You don't get hit with it afterwards, right?
Right, but they're still saying you're getting nickel and dimed for everything, and it's leading to this negative perception of value. You've got uncertainty in the economy, inflation, and just all sorts of tensions. Because Vegas is a place for historically international travel. People don't want to deal with all of this, so they're choosing not to go there. And a lot of these resorts, they're pricing out the middle group. It's either you can afford it, and it doesn't matter if you're going to drop 10 grand on one roulette spin or not. But if you're in the middle to lower side of things, you can't afford to go anymore.
Well, we're seeing that with dining, right? Look at the mid-tier restaurants that have closed. Hey, your fast foods are still doing all right. The tippy-top people are still doing all right. But it's the mid-tier restaurants, the O'Charlie type people that have really been struggling because they're caught in this inflation vortex. I'm guaranteeing you've been to Vegas at some point.
I have. I haven't been in quite a while.
How much did you lose? What'd you come back? How much lighter did you come back than what you went?
Rob, don't be silly. I always walk away a winner.
What are we doing next? What's going on?
Okay, so there's this Gen Z kid. His mom gave him something, and he's very confused by it.
Well, how about that for a team?
It's something that you and I would know how to use, but maybe not the younger generation.
Oh. Okay.
All right. It's Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Party people, Hammer from the Hammer and Nigel show. The party starts at 3:06. The biggest stories in Indy. Guy Relford joins us. Please join us too.
Warmer weather often means spending more time outside, the pool, working on the lawn, and just enjoying the weather. But as the summer heat and humidity picks up, you might also start spending more time cooling off indoors. As you look around the house, you might see some things you know need attention. Have you noticed sagging or bouncy floors, musty smells, water, mold, or rot in your crawl space? Indiana Foundation Service knows that all of these signs point to major damage building up in your crawl space, and it'll only get worse over time. Don't worry, with a free inspection from Indiana Foundation Service, the team's experts will identify your home's issue at the source. You'll want to get ahead of these problems sooner rather than later. Visit IndianaFoundation.com today to book your free inspection with a no-obligation quote included. That's IndianaFoundation.com. Indiana Foundation Service. There's a reason they are the trusted local experts.
Indiana Foundation Service. Reliability from the ground up.
I've had my Window Nation windows installed for a couple of years now, and my air conditioner is no longer working overtime in the summer. These are the dog days of summer, but if your windows are old and drafty, time for some new Window Nation windows. Check it out, 50% off all window styles plus 0 interest for 5 whole years. All the details at windownation.com.
And when Window Nation comes out to your house, they are bringing the best of the best. A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, and their staff, years of experience. And look, when we have a heat wave like we had recently, I think you understand how important it is to have good windows that keep the blistering hot out and your perfect climate inside. 50% off all window styles. Any style at all, 0 interest until 2030. 866-90-NATION or go to windownation.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
An official message from Medicare.
I'm saving money on my Medicare prescriptions. Maybe you can save too. With Medicare's Extra Help program, my premium is 0 and my out-of-pocket costs are low. Who should apply? Single people making less than $24,000 a year or married couples who make less than $32,000. Even if you don't think you qualify, it pays to find out.
Go to ssa.gov/extrahelp. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Stay on your home court with Franciscan Health's top-rated cardiac heart care. No traveling, no waiting. Just award-winning heart care right where you live. Rated #1 in Indiana 2 years in a row for cardiology and cardiac care by Health Grades, Franciscan Health offers first-in-the-world treatments, cutting-edge technology, and unmatched compassion. Because we believe every heartbeat is extraordinary. Don't sit on the sidelines with heart trouble. Schedule a same-day cardiology appointment today at 317-893-1900.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to save.
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
Tune in Saturdays 9 to 1 for the Home and Garden Show for advice and fun. Brought to you by Michaelis. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it.
Check out what's going on with 93 WIBC.
Kick off your weekend with Hammer and Nigel for Beer Sample Friday, brought to you by Wilson's Farm Market. They'll be broadcasting live 3 till 6, talking all things State Fair and, of course, beer. Don't miss the fun.
Okay, so you have discovered something that young people now, once was a staple of American existence, that young people have no idea what's going on.
Well, there's many things, right? You think about all of the technology and devices that have come and gone, like the fax machine, dial-up internet, landlines, pagers, TVs with antennas on them. TVs with dials on them. Did you ever deal with that? Did you ever have to get up and actually dial the television?
I had a dial TV in my room, and so I had when I was a kid, I had a dial TV that my grandma gave me, and it had the antenna on it. The problem I had with the dial TV, so my Nintendo was hooked up to it, and I've told this story before. My mother would ground me, would send me to my room. And she denies she did this now, and I don't know if she's just being nice and as she's getting older, but she would always. That's the way I do. If I did something that was misbehaved, my mother would send me to my room, and she would say the following things: "When your father gets home, you're in big trouble." However, my mom would get busy and would forget I had that Nintendo up there. But in order to get you had to get the TV to channel 3, so I would have to turn the television and make sure she was not within earshot because it would make that loud sound when you would turn the knob. So I had to be able to get, like, if I had it on WTHR, which was 13 on the antenna.
Oh, you had to go 10 slots.
You had to be able to get the thing over to 3, which would have to be a very strategic maneuvering of the dials.
Were you like coughing every time you would turn it?
Well, I grew up at a 2-story house, so as long as she was downstairs, I was relatively certain if she was doing something, I'd be able to do that. But that is yes, I had a knob or whatever television with antenna when I was a kid in my room.
Okay, some other things that are no longer as prevalent. Well, Game Boy cartridges for one. Phone books, payphones, checkbooks. You probably still have a checkbook.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you do. And this item from this boy.
Back with this series of stuff I didn't grow up with, but my mom did. A map. She sent me a map of Kansas. I've never used a map in my life. Oh my gosh. Was this your guys' like GPS? Holy cow. How do you even read this thing? Easy to read. Easy to read my ass. How do you drive and know where you're going? Look at that and tell me this is not a different language. My Siri says turn left in 2 miles, and I still miss the turn. I don't even know how I would. And then what do you do?
He's folding it.
Okay. Put it in the glove department. What if you're traveling through different states? You need more of these? Hold on, maybe. Nope. Still can't read it. I don't even know what it's called. Okay, maybe I don't want to grow up in the 80s or 90s. If anyone wants a roadway dictionary, you let me know. I don't need it anymore.
So what was the big one? Was it Rand McNally?
Rand McNally.
That was the big atlas that everyone had. When I first met my wife and went over to her house, and she lived with her grandparents, and her grandfather, who was an over-the-road trucker for 40 years, we were talking about something, and he goes, hang on a second, I'll show you. And he had one right on it, Rand McNally, right on his person. He opens it up, and he starts pointing the map or whatever, and it was like, boy, you want to talk about something from a bygone era.
Right.
This guy still lives it. I guarantee he's never seen a GPS, and I guarantee he could get you anywhere you want to go in this country better than that phone could.
Right, absolutely. I loved reading the map and just, staring at it for hours.
Yeah.
And just, discovering new places. You can't do that as easily on your phone.
Well, there really was a dark era, too, and Indie Reporter just said this in the YouTube chat. He's absolutely right. It was sort of the dark era between when the map kind of went out of style and the phone became a thing, which was you had to print the directions out on MapQuest.
Yeah.
Yes, the MapQuest printed direction, and that, while in theory, should have been better because it would tell you when to turn. If you missed a turn or there was something shut down, I mean, obviously now your phone,
it'll
whatever,
reroute you.
There was no rerouting on the MapQuest,
right?
And if you missed something or something was shut down, and then you were in big trouble because now what are you going to do? And that was really the darkest of times for traveling because we didn't, people had stopped kind of carrying maps or whatever, but there was no.
But the GPS wasn't there yet.
Of course, you almost always had to stop at a gas station or ask somebody, here's what I'm trying to do. How do I do this?
Okay, so that brings up the question then. You might recall that the Secretary of State of Indiana, Diego Morales, printed out.
Wait. Can we cue up the Diego theme music, Kevin?
Oh, I said his name.
Yeah, we should have alerted Kevin. Can we cue up the Here we go. Ready? Since Diego, keep it going, that's fine. Since Diego's a big chicken, and he's a real tough guy in government meetings, talking about how we're fake news and don't listen to us and don't tell my story and the blah, blah, blah. So we said, we'd love for you to come in. And he said, no, I'm not doing that.
He declined that offer.
We want to tell the story.
No. So what a total lack of transparency there, right?
Yeah. But what did he do? What's he wasting money on?
Well, he wasted, this is past tense already. He spent nearly $15,000 on maps with his name on it. And who is using those?
My wife's grandfather would be using it. That's it. Oh my gosh, this guy. What an insufferable, rotten, just dirtball.
I thought I'd just bring the show full circle for you. It's how we began the show, and it's how we're ending the show.
Oh, that's very well done by you, Casey.
But we won't have the opportunity now to ask him any questions about those maps and
he's a big chicken.
How successful it was for him.
Kevin, let's go out with the new Diego Morales theme song as we wind up our program today. And indeed is an applicable time for us to say goodbye.
Yes. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Kevin. Hey, thanks, Ethan, for coming by. Thank you for listening. We'll catch you back here tomorrow.
Don't go through life being a big chicken like Diego.
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
So what's in the bag today? Yesterday's leftovers? Another lunch meat sandwich? Well, go ahead and pull up a rock and settle in for a half hour of I wish I was eating something else. Or you could be eating something else, or someplace else. If you're brown bagging it at the corner of 30th and Shadeland area, drop over to His Place Eatery for 30 minutes of, why didn't I know about this place sooner? Nothing fancy, not a lot of frills. They save that for the quality of the meal. Like ribs that fall off the bone, southern fried chicken, sides that will cause your taste buds to thank you into tomorrow. Put that in your brown bag and eat it. Better yet, bank the bag. Go to His Place Eatery at the corner of 30th and Shadeland, or the newest location off 86th and Ditch Road. Your dirty boots and work clothes are welcome here. His Place, your place for lunch. Go to hisplaceeatery.com to learn more.
There sure are a lot of memories in that house. It's where you celebrated years of anniversaries and birthdays, where you watched the kids grow where you're relaxed in your retirement. You'll love it, right down to the scuff on the dining room floor and that sticky window in the bedroom. But now the stairs are getting harder, the lawn, the cleaning, the repairs, it's just too much to keep up. And you know it's probably time to downsize. But the thought of getting the house ready to sell is overwhelming. It's time to learn about Simple Quarters. They'll buy your house as is. No repairs, no worries. They handle everything. You take what you want, and you leave the rest. They're a Christian company, so they understand the emotional ties, and they'll be respectful of your memories and feelings as they help you simplify your life. If you're considering downsizing and want a hassle-free way to sell your home, call Simple Quarters at 317-900-HOME. That's 317-900-HOME, or go to simplequarters.com.
Join Mark Patrick Seminars and lose the weight guaranteed. Early bird special only $49.99. Hypnosis to destroy unwanted cravings. Also, stop smoking with Mark Patrick. Destroy your desire to smoke without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back. Seminars July 31st at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville. Weight loss seminar 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. And Saturday, August 2nd at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m. Stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Register at markpatrickseminars.com.
There's one question every couple needs to answer. What if something happens to us? Kids, a house, a life you've built, but no estate plan? That's a risk you don't want to take. With Trust and Will, it's fast, secure, and easy to protect what matters most. Start your plan today at trustandwill.com. Use code RADIO to save 20%. Check it off your list. One less thing to worry about. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. See website for details.
Trust and Will.
Fill your tank. Don't drain your wallet. Sam's Club lets you save time at the pump with Scan and Go checkout at Sam's Club fuel stations. Just scan the QR code on the pump and pay. Visit your local Sam's Club today.
Make summer nights unforgettable with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get 50% off a stunning fire pit with their best stamped concrete patio package. Offer ends September 1st. IndyDecorativeConcrete.com.
My grades were bad. I appeared to be doing good at my school life, but if you would see me at home, it would have been a completely different story.
I mean, it was just rough focusing on school when your mother is somebody you have to take care of.
There are students who need somebody.
Communities in Schools is helping more than 1.3 million kids get whatever they need to succeed in school. You can help change the picture of education at communitiesinschools.org.
I hear people say we can't save every kid, but I think that we can.
On the level, on the go. 93 WIBC Indianapolis.
Coming up. There's a better shot for a few strong fifth-degree thunderstorms.
When Donald J. Trump took office and said, they view it as a point of leverage.
New data reveals a concerning trend for Indiana's future workforce.
Last month, building permits dropped.
This is the WIBC News at noon.
Rain will continue and some pretty rough weather may be on the way.
You have a cloudy sky. It's 79 right now in downtown Indy. We're on our way to a high of 91 today. I'm Jarrett Lewis.
And I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at noon.
Along with the heat, parts of Indiana could see some severe weather this week. Greg Miller with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says the best chance for strong storms will come later in the week.
There's a better shot for a few strong fifth-degree thunderstorms on Wednesday. Main threat would be isolated damage and wind gusts, and again, there's that localized